CoolToday.com.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell.
Mostly sunny today on this election day. We do have a 20% chance of showers and thunder showers in the afternoon. Our high right around 86. Overnight, mostly cloudy. Chance of evening showers and thunder showers. Our low right around 78. Tomorrow, Wednesday, better chance of showers. About a 50% chance of showers and thunder showers. Our high right around 86. Get weather info around the clock by searching News Radio WFLA on iHeartRadio. I'm John Thomas.
The slow-roasted Cantina chicken menu is here to stay with ingredients like purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. Try it today at a participating U.S. Taco Bell location while supplies last. Contact store for participation, which varies. The slow-roasted Cantina chicken menu is here to stay with ingredients like purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. Try it today at a participating U.S. Taco Bell location while supplies last. Contact store for participation, which varies.
Follow WDAE on social, Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Now, back to the Pat and Aaron Show on WDAE. Streaming live on Alexa and the free iHeartRadio app. Top headlines.
Time for today's top headlines presented by Mark Spain Real Estate. Welcome back to the Pat and Aaron Show. Pat Donovan taking the day off, myself, Aaron Jacobson, and Casey Warner. Before we hit the top headlines real quick, let's go to Dan, who's been waiting in Newport Richie. What's up, Dan?
Oh, yeah, guys. I'm definitely change that rule of, at least give one possession to each side, okay? I mean, college does it all the time. You start them on the 25, see what happens. At least you get a chance.
Yeah, it goes back. It's like the playoffs. It goes back to the year that I believe it was Chiefs-Bills, where they just had an amazing back and forth, and everyone wanted Josh Allen to get a chance. He didn't get a chance.
Didn't, no. And another thing is that dumb kickoff rule. I don't know. I haven't had a chance to look it up, but I'd like to see what the success rate on onside kicks are. You know what I'm saying? If the Buccaneers, when the Buccaneers scored that thing, if you do a surprise, onside kick, your people are not going to expect it, hopefully, and either that or anything can happen.
What are you talking? When would they do an onside kick? What point in the game are you talking about?
The end of the game when they scored the touchdown.
Why would you think they wouldn't expect it? You always know now because of the kickoff rule. They will. You know when an onside kick is coming.
I think he means if it was set up the old way.
Oh,
and they just did a surprise one. Yeah.
But either way, like at that point, there's the element of surprise is out of the equation. You're down one, you have no timeouts left, and you need to get the football, or you lose the game.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It just seems so crazy. I mean, at least the element is still the element of surprise. I know a lot of people know it's coming, but anything can happen.
I agree with you. I think the onside kick rule now that it's dumb because it's very tough. Even though we've seen a successful one this year, it's very challenging to make that happen. A lot of good things have to happen for you to get that football back.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Like I said, just put it back the way it was. Try the onside kick. I mean, if you can get the ball to bounce high enough and it goes 10 yards, then so be it, and you get the ball right there.
And thank you for the call, Dan. Appreciate it. The overtime rule, I definitely think needs to change because, first of all, it's an offensive-driven league now. We've seen the football move down the field at ridiculous pace, but it's not fun for fans to be invested in a game, and a great game like we saw yesterday, and it comes down to a coin flip. And I get it. It's not really down to a coin flip because you still need your offense to go out there and do the job. Well, we're talking about Patrick Mahomes here, especially talking about a bad defense here. All right, with the Bucs. Let's go to you, Casey Warner, with the top headlines today.
Yeah, first things first, a familiar headline. The Chiefs get a call late in a primetime game. And I believe you tweeted about it last night.
Well, they get a call or they didn't get a call called.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Should have been a false start.
Yeah, either way you want to go. Final game-deciding drive, Jawan Taylor, Chiefs right tackle. There's a very easy call, false start, it looks like, in that pass that Travis Kelce got when it got him to the goal line.
It was obvious.
And a
lot of people are like, it doesn't matter. They would have been backed up.
Yeah, that was big.
It would have been, second down and long or whatever it was. was, and yeah, they would have had a much better opportunity. It was huge.
So do you think this is more the Chiefs are, the perennial power every year, they're winning, so they get the calls or the no calls in this case, or do you think it's just more on the officiating that needs to be changed?
I mean, they miss some, they get some right, they get some wrong. You got, it's hard to say. They missed one. This is It's Monday Night Football. It's the end of it's overtime. You got to be extra vigilant, and that one was very obvious in real time. It was even more obvious in slow motion, and it was a call that, do I think it made the game or broke the game? Not really, but it's still a big missed call late in that game. What I want to know is how did the Chiefs keep getting coin tosses in the overtime? They don't lose them.
The coin toss
is it like
just
is it a magic trick like David Blaine changing the coin or something?
So outdated, man. They do? It really stinks. It's they got to add some kind of element like college does where you have chances. Everybody has to have a chance, in my opinion.
Well, that's what kind of we're saying. If both teams get the ball.
I don't like college how they have to start at the 25. I think that's kind of dumb. I think you should have to go the whole field, but there's got to be some kind of element where everybody, gets a chance on offense and defense, and you have to stop and you have to score.
That's
what
simple.
I like about it. Yeah.
Give each team a possession. Make it 15 minutes. Make the period 15 minutes. Give each team a possession and see what they can do with it.
Yeah, it all could be so simple, but it's not. So we'll see what happens with that rule as the season moves along and we go into the offseason. Hopefully there will be some more changes. But there was also a bit of a funny situation, I guess you could say, last night to start the Monday Night Football broadcast. It was Jason Kelce. Last week, if you missed this, it kind of went viral on social media. Jason Kelce slammed a fan, or non-fan, I guess you could say, cell phone, who directed a homophobic slur at his brother, Travis Kelce, when he was walking with the ESPN crew down a sidewalk of fans before a game. And he came out and said, regarding the incident last night, he said, "I'm not happy with anything that took place. I'm not proud of it in a heated moment. I chose to greet hate with hate, and I just don't think that is a productive thing." So good for him for owning up to it, but I think it's kind of a funny situation.
He woke up and he chose violence.
That's right.
Jason, this is what you get, buddy. You have your podcast. You got, you're doing your broadcasting career. You're going up on game days and you're doing crazy stunts and you're dancing and you're going wild. And your brother happens to be dating the biggest star on the planet, who was at the game last night, as we all saw.
Really?
Yeah, really. So, if you didn't know, she was at the game, as we saw a million times. So, I think that Jason is getting a reality check of this is what superstardom is. It was one thing when you were, playing on the Eagles for as long as you did, and you were just fun Jason Kelce, having a great career. But now you're in it. and certainly he hadn't handled it well in that situation. He's not that far into this thing. So, Jason, it's only going to get crazier from here, man. Everyone's going to want to own
up to it, though.
I mean, sure.
There you go.
Sure. Good for you, Jason. You apologize. You feel better?
I'm sure he does.
I'm sure he does. All right. Today's top headlines presented by Mark Spain Real Estate. Get a guaranteed offer on your home today at markspain.com and start packing. How did Todd Bowles not go for 2 last night? That's the question. That's the question today. And in that situation, when we talk about the moxie that we all see out of Baker Mayfield, where was your moxie, Todd Bowles? We'll talk about, should Todd Bowles have gone for 2? We'll let you get involved. 888-546-4620. That's all coming up next on the Pat and Aaron Show.
Listening on the free iHeartRadio app? Thanks to Farrah and Farrah, it's never been easier to send your opinions directly to your favorite show. When you open the app, click the red talkback microphone and hit send. Farrah and Farrah, here to make it easy, Tampa.
With its new look and taste, Dasani is always crisp, clean, and refreshing. So, when thirst calls, answer with the new refreshed taste of Dasani water, now without salt. Learn more at Dasani.com.
New South Window lives southern weather, and our products are designed to keep the intense heat out and the cool air in. We prioritize keeping your family and your home comfortable all year round. That's why our energy-efficient windows and doors are made, installed, and guaranteed for life.
For a limited time only, save 35% off on New South windows and doors. Visit newsouthwindow.com/radio to learn more.
At the Home Depot, we know Saturdays are for college football. That's why we have everything you need to never miss a play. Like Bear Dynasty interior paint, their most durable one-coat hide paint ever. From a team color statement wall to a fan cave, complete with a mural honoring Nick Saban's 17-year dynasty.
Hey, I like that idea.
Nothing beats Bear Dynasty interior paint. It's everything you need all in one can.
Defend your game time with Bear and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Valid only when tinted to colors from the Bear Dynasty and Marquee Interior One-Coat Hide Color Collection.
Finding the right employee for your company is tough. One wrong hire can be a major setback. You're not alone if you face this. A recent survey by Robert Half shows nearly half of hiring managers readily admit to making a bad hire. Luckily, there's a solution. With Robert Half's specialized recruiter's experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can have the right skilled professional in place quickly. We understand what it takes to build winning teams because at Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
iHeartRadio has the 2024 presidential election covered with Decision 2024. Listen for real-time results and updates as the votes come in. From key races to national trends, our team will cover it all. Tonight, stay informed and stay connected on the go with your free iHeartRadio app. Just search election to listen to iHeart's 24/7 news channel.
A people-first presidency.
Make America great again.
Decision 2024 on iHeartRadio.
Robinhood is introducing forecast contracts so you can trade the presidential election. Through Robinhood, you can now trade financial derivatives contracts on who will win the U.S. presidential election, Harris or Trump, and watch as contract prices react to real-time market sentiment. Each contract you own will pay $1 on January 8, 2025, if that candidate is confirmed as the next U.S. president by Congress. Learn more about the presidential election contracts on Robinhood at www.robinhood.com/election. The risk of loss in trading commodity interest can be substantial. You should therefore carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you in light of your financial condition. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Commodity interest trading is not appropriate for everyone. Display prices are based on real-time market sentiment. This event contract is offered by Robinhood Derivatives, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm. Exchange and regulatory fees apply. This station does not recommend any specific investment.
Get election coverage you need wherever you are with the free iHeartRadio app. Open the app and search election to listen to iHeart's 24/7 news channel. iHeartRadio, always live for events that matter. Open the app and listen now.
An iHeartRadio sports report presented by Mark Spain Real Estate.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission.
Well, the Buccaneers battled, taking the two-time champion Chiefs to overtime, but they lose. KC winning the coin toss in OT and then driving down for the winning touchdown. Baker Mayfield, 200 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, including the tying TD flip to Ryan Miller with 27 seconds left in regulation. Bucs now 4-5. They host the 49ers Sunday. And college basketball tipped off last night. Florida was a winner over South Florida. I'm Matt McCoy.
You wouldn't drive a car under the influence, so why would you operate a boat? The FWC wants to remind you that operating a boat while impaired is just as deadly as driving a car and carries the same penalties. Be as safe at sea as you are on the land. Visit myfwc.com for more info.
1, 2, 3. Broadcasting live from the Rude Air Conditioning Studios. We are Tampa Bay's home for sports and Buccaneers fans around the world. Over 20 years and counting. 95.3 WDAE and the mighty AM 620. Powered locally by Ferguson HVAC.
Pat and Aaron Show. Pat Donovan taking the day off. Aaron Jacobson and Casey Warner. Tough loss last night for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 30-24 in Kansas City. I got to say, I'm impressed and shocked that they were in that game. They played, I thought, a really good game. Aside from some lapses on defense, the defense is struggling mightily right now. They couldn't get off the field on third down. They had some penalties, linebacker issues. Once again, I thought Levante David was much better yesterday. But besides Levante, you're just seeing guys struggle in coverage. KJ Britt struggling in coverage. You saw JJ Russell out there and Jones out there, but it just still has been it's like pulling teeth watching this linebacker crew. And you got The trade deadline today in the NFL later this afternoon. So you got to really start thinking, if you're Todd Bowles by 4 p.m. today, really start thinking about making a move here and getting somebody in here to help you out, because the defense yesterday was a problem. Patrick Mahomes could really do what he wanted and pick apart that defense, throwing for almost 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and it was just a Patrick Mahomes MVP type of day, type of performance. And I thought Baker was really, really good as well. And I thought some other guys for this Bucs receiving core, where their top 3 guys out, really stepped up. Cade Otton has been just the best weapon they've had for the last 3 weeks during this losing streak. Trey Palmer had some big moments yesterday. I would have liked to see Rakim Jarrett a little bit more, as he had a big play yesterday, his 1 reception. How about Sterling Shepard? Real gamer, and you can just see the connection between him and Baker Mayfield, not just throwing him the football, but very unique and creative in the way Liam Cohen has been using Sterling Shepard. And you saw on a 3rd down play yesterday, really using Shepard, running the football and coming around to an easy conversion. And they, once again, the Bucs have been great all year long on 3rd down, converting 3rd down. So thought the offense was really good. I was very impressed with this team yesterday. The person I'm not impressed with, besides from some guys on defense, is Todd Bowles, and just not having the chutzpah, not having the moxie, not having what it takes to say, I believe in my team, I believe in this offense, I believe in Liam Cohen and what play call he's gonna draw up for this 2-point conversion. Go win the football game. Go win the football game. It's that easy. Let's go to Corn in Lake Placid.
Hey, how you doing? Thank you for taking my call. Y'all got one of the greatest shows in the world.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing fine, man.
So what's on your mind?
What I feel about it is we got an opportunity to tie the game. We tied it. If he'd went for it and lost, he would have been vilified for that. So he did what was best for the team. Get him there, line him up, and see what happens. And the coin toss said no, because once that dude get the ball in overtime, it ain't pretty.
And that's why, though, I think a lot of people would not have faulted Todd Bowles for going for 2. If you're playing Carolina, I think we might think he's crazy if he goes for 2 and doesn't take it to overtime. You're taking on the best quarterback on the planet. Back-to-back Super Bowl champ Chiefs in their home at Arrowhead. So why in the world wouldn't you consider, if you're Todd Bowles, even consider it, Corn? Because that's what he said after the game. That's what's infuriating. He's like, minor. Didn't even think about it. Essentially what he said, minor. So you're not thinking about it? Come on now. Go win a football game. This is the Chiefs you're playing. Really missed opportunity, I think, Corn.
Yeah, but I'm quite sure he thought about it. He thought about it before they got there. Because they got there. They got there with confidence. But the thing is, you in the moment of the game, and you're trying to do this. No matter, you got to look at where your guys at, where you're going to go. Because the one point about that, you just said, if he don't make it, everybody fine with it. That ain't how society take this thing and just sit and watch the game and enjoy what they just saw. Because the thing is, either way you go, you're going to be vilified. And if you win it, you're lucky. If you don't, it goes.
It's part of the position, though. It's part of being a coach. I'm sure Liam Cohen would have gotten some kudos for drawing up a great play call in the 2-point conversion. That's part of being the head coach. Is your first name Corn? Is your last name Corn? Or do people just call you Corn?
People at work call me Corn. My name is Cornelius.
Oh, I love it. All right, Corn. Corn, great call. Really good phone call. Have a good morning, man.
All right, thank you, guys.
Bet that weather's perfect in Lake Placid where he's up right now. Weather's been really nice here. So, yeah, I think a lot of people are torn on it, and I think he's absolutely right. I think Corn is right. Todd Bowles is not in a winning situation, and not many coaches in this league, head coaches are, unless you're dominating, unless you're Andy Reid and you've proven it and you've won it before. If you still have something to prove and you haven't won it all, which Todd Bowles as a head coach is not, then you're going to be questioned in these situations. And even when you do win it all, you're going to be questioned, a la Doug Peterson. So it doesn't matter sometimes what happens in this league. It's you as the head coach, you sometimes are just going to have to accept that you're not going to be praised in moments you should be praised, and you're going to be ripped apart in moments that maybe you shouldn't be ripped apart. But in this situation, I think it's warranted. I think it's warranted to start looking at Todd Bowles and saying, Go for things. Start being aggressive. And last year at times we saw him being aggressive in odd situations, going for it on fourth down where he shouldn't go it on fourth down. We've seen it this year too. He's oddly aggressive in times where he shouldn't be aggressive. Last night was a great opportunity to be aggressive. And it seems like it didn't even really cross his mind. It's not something he really even entertained as an option to go out there and win the football game and not put the ball back in Patrick Mahomes' hands in Kansas City. And his reasoning for it was the weather. The weather that you just went down and drove down Kansas City's throats in that said weather. Very bizarre. All right, let's go to who's been waiting the longest. Carlos. Carlos in Spring Hill. What's up, Carlos?
Hey, good morning, Pat. How you doing, man?
It's Aaron, but I'm doing great. Pat's probably sleeping.
Oh, I'm sorry, Aaron. Good
That's
morning.
Cool.
Yeah, you're right. Anyway, yesterday was my birthday. Everything was just perfect. Okay, everything was just perfect.
Nice. Happy belated birthday, Carlos.
Thanks, buddy. Anyway, I was telling my daughter, listen, we're going to go all the way down. We have plenty of time. We have 2 timeouts. We're going to go down the field. Then we're going to take a timeout at the last second and go for 2. We're going to win the game. And she's like, you crazy. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Anyway, Bulls win, and they're the other way around. Number 1. Number 2, when we won the Super Bowl back at the time with Gruden, I remember like yesterday, we were going down the field, all the way down. And he took the timeout and went for 2 at the last second and got a 2-point conversion to beat the Washington. Not even he beat the Washington Redskins back then. The whole team rattled around Gruden, and they believe on Gruden, and they won the Super Bowl.
Momentum.
Because that's coaching.
Yep.
That's coaching. That's you believing in your coach. Gruden got a cojones to go for 2 at the last second, and we win. And that's what it takes. With balls, I don't think he got the balls to do that. I don't know. It's just a lot, it's just, I don't see it.
I agree with you.
And another thing, the referees, they're going all the way in Kansas yesterday. They got a face mask calling, which it wasn't.
Yeah, phantom face mask on Tristan Wirfs. And in that situation, Carlos, situation, if people forget that situation, it was big because it pushed them back and they ended up getting a field goal and going up 17-10. But you score a touchdown there, that's a big missed 4 points that they could have gotten there.
That's right.
So, yeah. Hey, listen, thank you for the call, Carlos. I really appreciate it. And I brought up Dan Campbell earlier. We've seen Dan Campbell go for 2, and I believe they lost that game, a game in which he went for 2. He's like, at least he went. Look at him now. Look at the team. The team believes in him. And I'm not saying the team doesn't believe in Todd Bowles, but I think Carlos makes a good point that you get momentum, you keep moving forward here, and the team believes in you, and you believe in them, and I think that can change the season. If you don't get it, all right, you lost to the Chiefs in a close game on the road. If you do get it, you just beat the Chiefs. You get the momentum right back, and this season is back on. Let's get past the bye. Let's get Mike Evans back, and let's go see what this team can do. So I think a very big missed opportunity there. Let's go to Corey in Tampa. What's up, Corey?
Hey, man. Nothing much, man. Thank you so much for taking my call, and I appreciate you. Listen, I hate to be Todd Bowles. And you touched on something. It's kind of part of the job, right? It's going to be 50-50. They're going to either love you or hate you no matter what you do. But I just think looking at that game overall, going for 2 or not shouldn't really be the topic of discussion. Team fought through. Looking at an offense here, that's top 10?
Yeah.
Top 5 in the league. Have a look at the numbers. We're looking at an offensive coordinator that could potentially be our head coach if we don't keep him in-house. He's going to get offers. What he's doing on offense with less is very impressive. We changed our identity to a run team. I just would like to see Bowles. Sometimes I think Bowles gets in his way too much, man. And I think that will be his downfall, but I respect him because he stands on what he believes in. And I don't think it really matters if it's right or wrong. He's going to do what he's going to do, and I respect him for that.
I listen, Corey.
Listen to the call.
Hey, thank you, Corey. I appreciate it, man. I'll let you hang up and listen. I respect Todd Bowles as well. I really do. I like Todd Bowles. I think he's a really nice guy. And as far as I respect him as a man, he is a really good human being. And he's a very smart football coach when it comes to defense. Even though we haven't seen it there this year, a lot of that is because of the pieces, the personnel that they have. But he's not the best head coach. He's not the worst. He's middle of the pack. If I'm being completely honest with my assessment of Todd Bowles, he's a middle-of-the-road head coach. Not the worst, not the best. But if you want to win a Super Bowl, you got to have the best. You can't have your head coach hurting you. I think the Eagles would be a lot better, and they would have been a lot better last year if they didn't have Nick Sirianni hurting them. And he's doing that this year. They almost blew it to Jacksonville last week in a game that they should have ran away with. So your head coach can hurt you. And I think in a situation last night, did he hurt them? No. But he wasn't aggressive enough in a situation where he could have helped them. And it could have been on him. And I think a lot of guys are looking for him to make that call. I bet you Baker wanted to go for it, right? But if you're Baker, I just don't think you can force your coach into that decision. I think that has to be in that moment of the game, that has to be Todd Bowles saying, we're going to go for it. I think Baker's looking for the assurance from his head coach to say, we're going to go for it. We're going to continue to get into Todd Bowles' comments from after the game. We'll get into some of Baker's in the 7 o'clock hour. And I see you there, Andrew, John, Bob. Hang tight. We'll get to you next coming up on the Pat and Aaron Show. But before we do that, I want to tell you about my friends at International Diamond Center. And they really are the best. Pat and I love them because they are in it for you, and we love that about them. I mean, when you talk about non-commission experts, they're not making money off any sales. The people there at IDC, they just want to help you. They want to make sure you're buying the right diamond. And being properly educated, very hard, especially these days with the advent of machine-made diamonds. So if you're not careful, you can overpay big time. The education that you're getting at International Diamond Center, it is second to none. They're going to teach you the secrets of the industry. And these days, it's so important, especially if you're considering buying a lab-grown diamond. Let IDC reveal the truth behind the recent trend. They'll show you the pitfalls. Ask them why they refuse to even sell lab-grown diamonds. IDC, it's your source for the best information as well as the best value. Whether you're buying a diamond for the first time or you want to upgrade to a large, rare, investment-grade diamond, IDC will make sure you don't make that mistake. International Diamond Center, where the focus is always on honesty, transparency, education, quality, and value. Like I said, they are in it for you. Do not buy a diamond until you learn the ins and the outs from International Diamond Center. And like I mentioned, they're non-commission experts. International Diamond Center in Tampa, Clearwater, Lakeland, and Sarasota. And check them out online, shopidc.com, official jeweler of the Gators. Bob, Andrew, all those other calls, we'll get to you on the other side. We'll get to your text, 82945. Start your text with DAE. And then we're going to continue with the conversation of if the NFL needs to change the overtime rules. That's coming up next on the Pat and Aaron Show.
WDAE
Traffic Update
from the Safe Touch Security Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Driving High will get you a DUI. Stay alert, stay alive, don't drive high.
A wreck on northbound 20th Street near the Selman Expressway and traffic slow from the port. Also, we're seeing delays on westbound I-4 approaching the Plant City area. Crash off to the left-hand side near Buckman Highway and traffic slow from the western end of the Polk Parkway. Building traffic on southbound 275 near downtown Tampa. Get traffic info around the clock by searching News Radio WFLA on iHeartRadio. I'm Randy Myers.
Driving High will get you more than a DUI, like higher insurance rates, legal troubles, loss of your license, and potentially your life. Don't risk it. Stay alert, stay alive. Don't drive high. A message from the Florida Department of Transportation. Driving High will get you more than a DUI, like higher insurance rates, legal troubles, loss of your license, and potentially your life. Don't risk it. Stay alert, stay alive. Don't drive high. A message from the Florida Department of Transportation.
You okay?
Sorry, I can't sleep with this cough.
Sounds like you need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with NyQuil VapoCool. It's NyQuil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
So you ready to get some sleep? Thank you, NyQuil VapoCool.
NyQuil VapoCool, the vaporizing nighttime coughing, aching, fever, best sleep with a cold medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
I served my country honorably in the Marine Corps, and for almost 3 decades, I've dedicated my life to serving you. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth. I met my incredible wife on a blind date at Camp Lejeune. She also served in the Marines. My son, an Air Force veteran, and my daughter are on our team. I'm sharing this because Trajan Wealth is more than just a business. It's our family's legacy based on trust and integrity. We're here to manage your money and fight for your dreams. Our fiduciary duty is to put your needs first, always. If you have an old 401k collecting dust, or if your current advisor isn't meeting your needs, let's talk. At Trajan Wealth, we're ready to take on your retirement challenges one at a time. Honor the sacrifices of those who served by taking action for your future. Call us today. 813-550-1000. That's 813-550-1000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
An iHeartRadio sports report presented by Mark Spain Real Estate.
Bet live with Hard Rock Bet. Real-time wagering till the very last play. Missing the kickoff doesn't mean all bets are off.
Delay a game on the guy who hasn't bet yet.
Sometimes you just know your team is going to come back. The Sportsbook for every kind of player.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Get up to $100 back if your first bet doesn't win. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Get your most accurate home value estimate at DuncanDuo.com.
I am delighted to have one of my good friends here with me today. Guess who?
Ronnie, it's me, Elizabeth Holland, co-founder of the Holland Group Retirement Wealth Advisors. Our listeners are reaching out to us wondering how to protect their retirement accounts and plan for a more sustainable retirement. You're not alone if you're wondering the same.
Call us at 727-228-6449 to learn how we can help, or Google the Holland Group Retirement Wealth Advisors.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
This report is sponsored by Audible.
Mostly sunny today on this election day. We do have a 20% chance of showers and thunder showers in the afternoon. Our high right around 86. Overnight, mostly cloudy. Chance of evening showers and thunder showers. Our low right around 78. Tomorrow, Wednesday, better chance of showers. About a 50% chance of showers and thunder showers. Our high right around 86. Get weather info around the clock by searching News Radio WFLA on iHeartRadio. I'm John Thomas.
Get immersed in new worlds and ideas with Audible. Explore an incredible selection of audiobooks, podcasts, and originals, all in one easy app. There's more to imagine when you listen. Sign up for a free trial at audible.com.
The biggest guests and analysts from around the world of sports. The Dan Patrick Show. This morning at 9. Now, back to the Pat and Aaron Show on WDAE. Streaming live on Alexa and the free iHeartRadio app.
I got to tell you, it's a tough league in the NFL. It really is. I mean, the Bucs played well last night for the most part. Lapses on defense. And yeah, you can make the argument that the time management wasn't great with the use of the timeout from Todd Bowles at the end of that game, his final timeout. But, I mean, that's a little nitpicky. When it comes down to it, the conversation this morning that we're having and a lot of people are having surrounding that game is, how could Todd Bowles not go for 2 to win that game? That's why this is such a tough league. Because that's a hard call to make. Now, I'm surprised he didn't entertain it more. Casey, let's have that audio ready for people that didn't hear it about Todd Bowles' explanation as why he didn't go for it or entertain that option late in that game to try to win that game. But it's, to me, going for 2 to win a game is rare. I think in the moment, in the situation, it was absolutely the right call. But damned if you do, damned if you don't. Tough league. And that's, as the head coach, what you're going to have to deal with, the repercussions of it. And Todd Bowles is hearing it from us and really a lot of people today. Here's Todd Bowles' explanation after the game.
Very minor. We wanted to get it to overtime with the wet conditions on the field. We felt like we had to go into overtime instead of go for 2. So we had our shots. We lost the game.
Very minor. Talking about if he thought about it. Very minor. Really? I mean, in that situation, that whole drive, even Troy Aikman talked about it after the game. He was thinking the whole drive, if they scored a touchdown, they're going for 2. They should go for 2. So if Troy Aikman's thinking about it, you're not calling the plays, Todd Bowles. Liam Cohen's taking care of getting the ball down the field. So what are you thinking about? The wet field? That's on your mind. Because I don't know what else. You have all the time in the world. Yeah, okay, of course you're thinking about timeouts, which we can all have the discussion of if he didn't use them correctly. At least that last one. Left some time on the clock for Patrick Mahomes. Now, even if they made the 2-point conversion, would have been a lot of time for Mahomes to get down the field and get in field goal range. Maybe a little bit of different play calling. They were moving down the field, so maybe they get into field goal range and win that football game. I don't know. But what I do know is Todd Bowles is not a gutsy coach. And in this part of the season, the way things have been going the last couple weeks, now riding a 3-game losing streak, last night was a moment to show some guts. And Todd Bowles didn't do it. And it might end up costing him his job. Let's go to Bob in Land O'Lakes. Good morning, Bob.
Hey, good morning. Can we trade him at the deadline, Bowles?
Who do you want to trade him for?
A linebacker. I mean, he's a defensive coach. Where's the defense? If you go for 2, at least you have a chance. I mean, by his statement of saying we're going to go for 1, it's I believe in my defense to stop them. Well, you should believe in your defense to stop them just as much as if you go for 2 and make it. My defense that I believe in can stop them in the final 30 seconds.
And Bob, he's been doing this for a long time. He's a defensive-minded coach. He knows defense. He knows deep down he doesn't have the personnel this year that he's used to having. He knows. He knows that. He knows he doesn't have linebackers that can cover. Levante David had a good game yesterday, but it's been really difficult watching KJ Britt. Josh Hayes was struggling out there yesterday, so he knows he doesn't have the personnel. So I don't know why that would be in his mind.
So let them be exposed more in overtime. I mean, come on. Your offense is awesome. You know Baker wanted to go for 2.
For sure.
It's the only move right there. It's like it's a coin flip. Do we get 2? Do we get stopped? It's the same as the coin toss. But you cannot put the ball in Mahomes' hands in overtime at home. You can't do that because there's no way you're going to win that game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you, Bob, and a good call. Thank you. They were picking apart the Bucs defense, and Patrick Mahomes is really doing whatever he wanted to do. And you look at the stat line for some of these guys. I mean, you look at Travis Kelce. He could do whatever he wanted. 14 receptions for 100 yards. All right, he's only averaging 7 yards a reception, but he's just dick and dunk, dip. What is it? Dip and dunk. I always get that wrong. It just little passes here that it moves the sticks. It moves the sticks. It's very frustrating to go up against Patrick Mahomes when he's playing the way he was playing yesterday. And I don't know why Todd Bowles wouldn't in that moment want to at least take the chance. 888-546-4620. Let's go to Armando in Valrico. What's up, Armando?
Good morning. How are you?
Doing well, considering. Tough loss.
Yeah, it's obvious at this point that Bowles is holding this team back. I mean, we would be a legit contender in the NFC if we did not have that man as a head coach. His extremely poor game management has cost the Bucs 3 games this season, as well as our 2-star wide receivers. And Liam Cohen is still performing well. And, I mean, he is turning chicken crap into chicken salad. Meanwhile, it's Bowles' side of the ball costing us games. And you know it's bad when Andy Reid and Ryan Fitzpatrick knew that Bowles is not going for 2 because it means they know he is a coward when it comes to these decisions. It's in his DNA. It's in his DNA. And the excuse he made for not going for 2 was a joke, and just as awful as when he took the ball out of Brady's hands in Cleveland in 2022 and said he was scared Brady would throw a pick. The goal of a team in the NFL is to win the Super Bowl, to climb to the mountaintop. Well, how can you possibly climb to the mountaintop when you have someone that's consistently causing avalanches along the way? Dungy got fired for much less.
Yeah, you know what? And it was, you're right, and thank you for the call. It's one of those moments I think that Todd Bowles will look back on and he'll wonder if that is, in hindsight's 2020, but if that's a moment he should have been more aggressive. This is a team that is built on aggression. This is an offense that runs on that. They run on hot. They run on Baker Mayfield. They run on creativity with Liam Cohen. So be creative for one more play and go get yourself a lead. Not definitely a win, because we don't know what would happen those final 30 seconds or so, but go get yourself a lead in Arrowhead and prove to your team, prove to your offense that you believe in them. Yeah, we know you believe in your defense. I don't know why at this point in the season. They've been horrible, but you believe in them because those are your guys. Go show Baker you believe in him. Go show Liam Cohen you believe in him as a play caller. I didn't see that yesterday. All right, we're going to continue with your calls. We'll get right back into it. Big 7 o'clock hour coming up as we'll continue recapping the Monday Night Football. Bucs lost to the Chiefs last night. Pat Donovan taking the day off. Aaron Jacobson with Casey Warner. It's the Pat and Aaron Show.
Hear that? The sound of water being poured on 800-degree rocks. If you were here in this sauna, you'd be so hot you wouldn't have the energy to move. But you're not here. Because your self-care happens out on the road, riding your motorcycle protected by Progressive. Besides, after a long ride, a helmet sweat is way more satisfying. So if you ride, switch to Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer, without even breaking a sweat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
To our Florida neighbors, your Lowe's community is still here with you. As you recover after Hurricane Milton, you can lean on us for help with cleanup and repair. We're open and ready to help you get the supplies you need after the storm. We're here for your community. Visit Lowe's in-store or online to find out about relief efforts in your area and to get emergency supplies now.
The free iHeart app goes everywhere you do, because it's always on your phone and ready for whatever you're in the mood for. Even better, when you plug your phone into Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, the app becomes part of the dash with a seamless way to listen to your favorite radio stations, the latest must-hear podcast, or a custom playlist to get you focused. And with the holidays on the horizon, the app makes the perfect shopping companion while you search for the ultimate parking spot.
There it is!
Try Apple CarPlay or Android Auto with the iHeart app today.
iHeartRadio.
T-Kraz and Chris Mathis here from Moss Nissan. And if you were affected by the hurricane, Moss Nissan is offering free towing and inspections and employee pricing too.
They also offer Moss Care, and Nissan has 6 new Nissan models starting at under $30,000.
You can also get as low as 0% financing and up to $3,000 on bonus cash on select new Nissans.
Moss Nissan also has the largest Nissan inventory in the Tampa Bay area.
3 convenient locations: Tampa, Newport Richie, and Brooksville. Moss Nissan, whatever it takes.
Eric Gordon, owner of Printall and Final Destination, contacted his Applied Innovation rep for one reason.
He gave me the in to be able to start my own company and live my dream.
How did Applied Innovation help secure that dream?
So I asked them to provide me with commercial machinery at a budget that a startup can afford. And they came through with flying colors, and it was an amazing experience.
So you're sold on Applied Innovation?
Yes, they're real people. They treat you with respect. They're not just there for the job. And these guys, when they say that they'll be there, without a doubt.
How have you benefited from your Applied Innovation relationship?
Working with a company that cares, not having to lose sleep over whether or not they're going to be able to fix my issues.
Want to work with real people that care? Call Applied Innovation today, 800-521-0983, or visit appliedinnovation.com. Applied Innovation.
Tampa Bay has champions. And Ken Hagan is Hillsborough County's biggest champion. Hagan fights for tax cuts, giving all of us relief from rising prices. Hagan redirected billions into growth projects, repaving and reducing traffic. Hagan protected our quality of life with flood prevention, infrastructure, and recreation improvements. And Hagan led the way for affordable housing, especially for seniors. Ken Hagan is Hillsborough's biggest champion. Paid for by Ken Hagan, Republican for Hillsborough County Commission.
Broadcasting from the Rude Air Conditioning Studios. For those who still wear creamsicle while in a sea of pewter and red. We are 95.3 FM, W237CW Pinellas Park, WRUB HD3 Clearwater, and the mighty 620 WDAE St. Petersburg. Streaming live right now on your free iHeart Radio app. All your sports, music, talk, and podcasts. Hey, Bucs fans. Free has never sounded so good. Punch the preset for the ride home on The Drive with T-Kraz. Coming up at 3. Now, back to the Pat and Aaron Show on WDAE. Streaming live on Alexa and the free iHeart Radio app.
Welcome back to the Pat and Aaron Show. Aaron Jacobson here with Casey Warner. Pat Donovan back later in the week. Patrick Mahomes, the best quarterback on the planet, had what I think was his best game of this season so far, halfway through the season. He had his best game of the season, and the Buccaneers lost in overtime. And it took a drive from Patrick Mahomes in overtime to get that win for the Chiefs. So even though we're very angry this morning and there are a lot of things we're scratching our heads at and a lot of, going back and thinking maybe what Coach Bowles should have done that he didn't do. But when you look at it, I have to tip my cap to this team because they are fighting. This season is frustrating. At least this last 5 games or so has been frustrating, except for the Saints game. But besides that, ever since the overtime loss in Atlanta, where they were cruising during that game, so maybe I should say 3.5 games, this has just been a very frustrating 3-game run here for this team. And in a moment last night where, and really through that game yesterday, it would have been easy with all the injuries they battled for them to get blown out by the 2-time defending Super Bowl champ Kansas City Chiefs with a guy like Patrick Mahomes at the helm. It would have been so easy for them to fold yesterday. They did not. They fought and they battled in that game. And the weak points are still the weak points. The secondary has been a real concern for this team, and it continues to be. The line has been good, aside from getting, some pressure on the edge. Interior has been great. How about Vita Vea? How about Kalijah Kelce yesterday? Both of them having 2 sacks apiece. The interior has shown that they're able to get some pressure on the quarterback. It's the guys on the edge that need to start getting some sacks and creating pressure and not allowing on third down. And this is part of blitz packaging as well from Todd Bowles, not allowing Patrick Mahomes to really do whatever he wants on third down. And the coverage just hasn't been good. Hayes was bad yesterday in coverage. I mean, you saw on a couple third downs, but DeAndre Hopkins, welcome to the Chiefs, buddy. Welcome to the Chiefs as the rich get richer. 8 receptions, 86 yards for him, 2 touchdowns yesterday. Antoine Winfield Jr., there was that play, that deep ball, that amazing play, but you got to get up there and find that ball at the highest point. And I'm watching Antoine Winfield Jr., one of the best in the game, playing that thing like a center fielder, like no one is around him. He knows better than that. So there are lapses, especially in the secondary, that have been so problematic for this team all season long. But in a game that you hung around against a team as powerful as the Chiefs, those are plays that are literally make or break plays. You make a play there, and I'm not talking about how you have to intercept the ball if you're Antoine Winfield Jr. You're the safety and one of the best in the league. Get up and knock that ball down. So you can't put it all on Todd Bowles. The personnel that's out there, especially the best of the best, got to start making plays in big moments. We saw guys like Vita Vea do it yesterday. Got to see Antoine Winfield Jr. coming up with some of those big plays in those big moments, because that's a play from Hopkins. Great play. Hayes is on the coverage again. Got to make a play if you're him. But you're the safety up with the help. If you're Antoine Winfield Jr. and you're right there in position, you're playing it like a center fielder. You shouldn't have been. 888-546-4620 if you want to join the show, like John, who's been waiting in Tampa. Good morning, John.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Doing well, man. What's on your mind?
Well, the Bucs played an awesome game last night. Frankly, when they went down 14, I thought it was over. So for them to come back and take it in overtime was incredible. But this is what I don't understand about the 2-point conversion. If I were to talk to Coach Bowles and say, Coach, here's the deal. What's your goal in overtime? Well, I want to win the coin toss. I want to get down to the 2 and score. How about this, Coach? We'll just give it to you on the 2, and if you score, you win. It's a no-brainer. You basically put it up to chance. Might not even get the ball, which they didn't, and the other team scores and you're done. Or you can have it on the 2, score, whether it's 2 or 6, and you win. And that's what I don't understand about it. It's just an absolute no-brainer. And
I think hindsight's 20. John, I think hindsight's 2020. What if I told you this, and I saw this from Seth Walder on Twitter. These are the percentages going into that decision. The winning percentage, if they went for the point after attempt, 42.8%. The winning percentage, if you go for 2, 41.2%. So about a 1.5 up percentage-wise in favor of the point after.
I hear what you're saying, and I get the analytics, but this is the deal. If you go into overtime, you hope to get the ball, and if you get it, you hope to get down to the 2 with a chance to score. Or you just get it on the 2 with a chance to score to win. If you risk that coin toss, which they did, and you don't get the ball, you don't even, and the other team scores, you don't even get a chance. That's the problem with it. And again, your whole thing is, hey, get down to the goal line and score. Well, they had a chance to do that. They took it out of their own hands. So that's what I don't understand about that decision at all. It's like, hey, if I'm telling you, you get a chance to go down and get it on the 2 to score in overtime, that would be fantastic. That's what we want. Well, Coach, you get it on the 2 right now.
Ryan,
and take the coin flip toss out of it and can score. That's what I don't get.
John, I get it, man, and I agree with you. I agree with you. I'm going against.
And it's not against Coach. It's not against. It's not against the coach. It's just the general kind of mindset. It's like, hey, man, you just drove the field and scored. You got momentum, and oh, by the way, you take the chance of the coin toss out of it.
And
what you're about to do is you're about to get the ball too. So anyway,
I thank you, John. Appreciate the call. I gave you the numbers for just because they're out there. But even with that said, I'm going against the numbers because I have to go with my eye test and I have to go with my gut. And a lot of us in that situation, rightfully so, the gut is you do not want to give the ball back to Patrick Mahomes. That is the overwhelming gut feeling that I saw across the board. We all feel that way when it comes to Patrick Mahomes. So why did Todd Bowles in that moment not feel that? Why did Todd Bowles in the moment late in the game not feel the momentum that we all felt was on the Bucs side as they marched down the field late in that game and scored that touchdown with a chance to go ahead? Now, would the game have been over? No. But you put yourself in a position to win that game. Yeah, your defense could have given up chunk yards and Patrick Mahomes could have gotten a field goal. They could have won that game. But I would have rather personally seen Todd Bowles, even if they didn't get it, have the guts to go for it. And with that being said, I know if Todd Bowles goes for it and they don't get it, I'm coming on the air today. I'm not doing it. Promise you that. But I know people are crucifying him for it. And I would say that's not fair because he would have shown the guts. But I know that would have been the thing today. So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, if you're Todd Bowles. It ain't an easy job being a head coach in this league. But if Todd Bowles doesn't figure something out, he's not going to be one for a lot longer, at least not in Tampa Bay. Let's go to Donnie Christmas. Good morning, Donnie.
Hey, good morning. I agree with you 100% on that. But I got to say it, and it's like, it doesn't even be the freaking elephant in the room, but my goodness, how many things did they get away with? I counted at least 3 times that guard literally false start, nothing. And if you watch on that punt, when we were coming down to cover, I forget who it was, he was blocked dead in the back, and he was literally almost pushed down, and they didn't call it.
And the call they made, the phantom face mask on Tristan Wirfs.
Yeah, don't you love that? But boy, I'll tell you, anytime we did anything close, there was a hold on us. And I went back literally because, look, I hate to sound like conspiracy theorist. I hate to sound like crazy old man. But I'm telling you, I went back and looked a number of times. They grabbed our guys and didn't let go versus the times we got called for something. I was frankly surprised that they called defensive pass interference because as many times as Kelce came down and literally made a block and interference and allowed people to open. I mean, look, I'm not going to say they earned the win because the bottom line is we played better, and on the key calls, I guarantee you that game-winning drive, there were at least twice where they could have called false start, would have backed them up, and we would have got the ball.
Without a doubt.
And that's just it's sick. It makes me sick.
And I tweeted about it last night at Jacobson on Air. Thank you, Donnie. At Jacobson on Air, I tweeted at that very thing is, they missed a very obvious on, I believe it would have been 3rd down, or at least it was 2nd down. They missed a very obvious, it was 2nd down at the time. They missed a very obvious false start. Extremely obvious. In regular time, it was obvious. In slow motion, even more so. And that, they're still in field goal range. Still a good chance they get a touchdown there because it's Patrick Mahomes. But, yeah, it wasn't great. But I cannot put this on the referees. I can't put it all on Todd Bowles. But I will put a lot on it. I thought this game overall, they played really, really well. I thought the thing that killed them, that was the deciding factor in this game, without a doubt in my mind, was how bad the defense was on 3rd down. You stop even only a couple of those from Patrick Mahomes on 3rd down, and you win this ball game. At one point until the end of the game, he was 11 for 11, over 100 yards and 3 touchdowns on 3rd down alone. So you can get at Todd Bowles all you want, but at some point, You have to put it on the guys that are out there for not stepping up and making a big play. And there were too many times on defense last night, and too many times over this 3-game losing streak that guys on defense have not stepped up and made a big play. You have to do it. Have to see it more often. We didn't see it, and they put themselves in a position where they could have won the game, and Todd Bowles didn't have the moxie that he loves so much in Baker Mayfield. He didn't have that moxie of his own to go out there and win a football game or try for his team. Let's go to Gabe in Seminole. Good morning, Gabe.
Good morning. The fact that our defense was so gassed after, in the second half, we couldn't put a drive together to get those guys rest. Leave it to the players on the field to decide the game. Those guys, they couldn't have, it was obvious. And another thing about defense, if their best wide receiver keeps beating a guy that hasn't played much, why not put 27 on him? And you say it's the players, but almost every third down, Travis Kelce is played against the zone coverage. I mean, I really don't understand Todd not putting it into the players' hands to win this game, and that's why Detroit plays the way they play for their coach, because that guy believes in his team, just like you just said, Aaron. We could have got out of there with a win, just like the first Atlanta game, but we let it slip through our hands, and, just like that old coach used to say, we knew who we thought they were. We had them on the ropes, and we let them get away. And you gave it to the best quarterback of our era for one more drive. And God bless those Kansas City fans, because I'm sure that's an expensive ticket. Go Bucs.
Yeah, go Bucs, and rest in peace to Dennis Green, who made that comment many, many years ago. They are who we thought they were. So they had a chance. They had a chance against an undefeated, now 8-0 Kansas City Chiefs, and you had a chance to send them to 7-1 at Arrowhead. Didn't take advantage of it. Let's go to Eric in Tampa. Good morning, Eric.
Hey, good morning, brother. Hey, listen, I'm not even going to sound like a disgruntled fan because everybody's talked about the calls, but I got one thing to tell Tampa Bay, and just always remember, that's the Atlanta Falcons. They're going to be who they are. That's 1966, and they won nothing. Just calm down. We're going to be all right. But, hey, guess what? Last night, I'm so frustrated with the face mask penalties all season. They haven't called our way or against us. I don't understand how these referees can miss them. I've seen in games all year where they've gone back and corrected calls, but never in our games.
Yeah.
When it's from us.
And
I don't understand. And I don't understand this because I'm really starting to get frustrated with that because we played great enough last night to win. Hey, listen, we was going to put 7 on the board when they called that. I'm not even thinking. We was going to put 7 on the board when they called that face something on Tristan Wirfs.
It could have been 21-10 instead of 17-10. No doubt about it.
Exactly. And the legal procedure penalties, guess what? This dude, he might as well have been playing fullback last night. How he was trying to get back. You want to know why last night Joe Tryon couldn't get back there? Damn, he was in the backfield. When you give a guy that big, that much time to set up, it's hard to move them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And let me just tell you something. We literally keep playing, and guess what? The season can't get nothing but better. A couple weeks ago, I called and I said the biggest injury that we had was Savasier Dennis, because when we had him, and guess what? Our pass coverage was way better underneath, and it just made us better. Because the safeties, I'm gonna clearly say, because I got a great football background, and I'm going to say it again, the safeties are trying to overcompensate from KJ Britt. And I understand that.
I said that, and you know what, Eric, I said that yesterday, and then I mentioned that play with Antoine Winfield Jr., when he's playing center field, when on a ball on DeAndre Hopkins where you got to go up at a high point and knock that ball down at the very least. That has nothing to do with the linebackers. That's Antoine Winfield Jr., and those are lapses that I don't usually see him make.
Yeah, no, not at all. Not at all, because let me just tell you something. You can't get caught up in the moment. You got to make the play. And you can't just think a ball is going to come to you.
Yeah.
I think they had a DB the same way yesterday. He was sitting thinking the ball was going to go through, and he let our receiver catch the ball. But I'm going to just tell you something. Just remember, hey, Tampa Bay, that's the Atlanta Falcons. They ain't won nothing since 1966. They was up 28-3 in the Super Bowl. It's not going to stay the way it is. They're not a better team than us. So just have faith. You hear me?
Hey,
San Francisco beatable.
It's Eric. And thank you for the call out of time here, but very optimistic of you. But it's not a point in the season you want to be at, especially, how we were feeling a couple weeks ago before the Godwin injury, while we were leading in Atlanta about a month ago, considering where we were there and how we feel now, where you're just hoping that Atlanta becomes Atlanta again. I got news for you. That offense looks good. Atlanta looks solid. So it's going to be on the Bucs to have to do their part and go win ball games. And they had an opportunity to do that in Arrowhead yesterday. They didn't take advantage of it. We're going to continue on the other side. Let's get back into this game. But also, I want to talk about Baker Mayfield. I thought Baker was great yesterday and all season long for the most part. A couple, bad interceptions here and there. But overall, I think he's been not just a great quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks in all of football. Is he up there, though, in the upper echelon, the top 5 tier, the top tier quarterbacks? We're going to have that conversation coming up on the other side. It's Pat and Aaron Show.
WDAE
Traffic update
from the Safe Touch Security Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Rasmussen University.
Serious crash in Clearwater blocks all lanes at the intersection of Belcher and Northeast Coachman. Also in Tampa, seeing delays southbound Veterans Expressway approaching the airport and 275. Crash off to the right-hand side there. Delays on southbound 275 approaching the Howard Franklin Bridge. A crash off to the right-hand side just as you get on the bridge. Get traffic info around the clock by searching News Radio WFLA on iHeartRadio. I'm Randy Myers.
At Rasmussen University, we offer a full suite of nursing programs from pre-licensure to doctoral, online and on campus. Programs vary by campus. Learn more at rasmussen.edu/Florida. At Rasmussen University, we offer a full suite of nursing programs from pre-licensure to doctoral, online and on campus. Programs vary by campus. Learn more at rasmussen.edu/Florida.
Hey guys, T-Kraz and Ronnie for C4MH.com. Have you been hitting the gym more this year but not getting those results? It's frustrating, right? Well, if you're over 40, that problem, Ronnie, might be low T.
That's right, T-Kraz. Testosterone is the primary hormone needed for building muscle. And if your testosterone is low, you'll be working twice as hard at the gym and getting nowhere. So know before you go and get your testosterone tested at C4MH.com. Just $45 gets you lab tests and a medical exam.
And you'll not only see results in the gym. I've been going to C4MH.com for several years now, and I feel great, healthier, stronger, and my overall mood has improved too.
Now beware pop-up men's clinics that use cheap cut rate compounded testosterone and want you to pay in advance. C4MH.com only treats with pharmaceutical testosterone and never makes you pay for treatments in advance. No financial contracts to sign, no financing needed, as C4MH.com is a medical clinic, not a marketing company.
Just $170 a month for treatments and $90 for follow-up labs. No surprises and no upsells or add-ons, and you can walk into any of their 18 locations when it's your time for treatment. Just walk in, get your treatment, and walk out. It's that simple. No appointment, no waiting.
C4MH.com is the leader in low T care and has been since 2011 with 18 locations between Tarpon Springs and Naples. It's safe, affordable, convenient. Visit C4MH.com and click on Express Treatment, and you're on your way to feeling better. C4MH.com.
With its new look and taste, Dasani is always crisp, clean, and refreshing. So, when thirst calls, answer with the new refreshed taste of Dasani water, now without salt. Learn more at Dasani.com.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Win $15,000 in new impact windows from Reese Windows. Pick up your phone and text the word HAPPY right now to 20129. That's HAPPY to 20129.
The holidays are coming up, and I know they say 'tis the season to be jolly, but I was feeling stressed about getting what I needed for hosting. So I went to Kohl's, where I not only found amazing deals on everything from decor to table essentials to cooking must-haves, I also got 20% off with a coupon. So if you want to truly be the host with the most this season, get to Kohl's. Select styles. 20% offer ends November 7th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
I'm Julian Edelman.
I'm Rob Gronkowski.
Welcome to Dudes on Dudes. We're going to highlight players, and we're just going to sit here and talk about them. And we'll get into the types of dudes. Is Randy Moss a stud or a freak? Is Tom Brady a dog or a dude's dude?
We're going to find out, Jules. New episodes drop every Thursday during the NFL season.
Listen to Dudes on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Dudes on Dudes to start listening.
I am delighted to have one of my good friends here with me today. Guess who?
Ronnie, it's me, Elizabeth Holland, co-founder of the Holland Group Retirement Wealth Advisors. Our listeners are reaching out to us wondering how to protect their retirement accounts and plan for a more sustainable retirement. You're not alone if you're wondering the same.
Call us at 727-228-6449 to learn how we can help, or Google the Holland Group Retirement Wealth Advisors.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
This report is sponsored by Allstate.
Mostly sunny today on this election day. We do have a 20% chance of showers and thunder showers in the afternoon. Our high right around 86. Overnight, mostly cloudy. Chance of evening showers and thunder showers. Our low right around 78. Tomorrow, Wednesday, better chance of showers. About a 50% chance of showers and thunder showers. Our high right around 86. Get weather info around the clock by searching News Radio WFLA on iHeartRadio. I'm John Thomas.
Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
For more information about contests on this station, go to 953wdae.com/rules. Follow WDAE on social, Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Now, back to the Pat and Aaron Show on WDAE. Streaming live on Alexa and the free iHeartRadio app.
Getting experience, you can't duplicate that in-game experience in an environment like this to handle it how they did. That's big time. It's big time for them, and they need to keep going and keep getting better.
Yeah, that's Baker Mayfield on the experience that these young wide receivers are getting, and certainly getting a lot, and I think they are going to get better. And you had your top 3 wide receivers out, especially not having Mike Evans and Chris Godwin has hurt them, but you didn't have Jalen McMillan yesterday, and I got to say, Baker Mayfield is balling out. The guy is doing his job. He's doing his part. And if we've seen a couple lapses with interceptions, but yesterday wasn't one of those days. He plays with so much heart and so much grit. It is such a pleasure. Even though this year has been frustrating, since Baker Mayfield has become the quarterback of this team, it has been such a pleasure to watch him play the position. Even more so than the entirety. Now, Tom Brady, of course, won a Super Bowl here, but it got pretty ugly down the end, down the stretch. Guy wasn't playing with the heart and the moxie that I know Baker Mayfield will play until he has to take the Buccaneers uniform off. Till that jersey comes off his back, he's going to play with grit. He's going to play with moxie. I watched Baker Mayfield compete with the best quarterback on the planet last night, who, by the way, Baker Mayfield or Patrick Mahomes had his best game of the season yesterday. So Baker Mayfield is going back and forth with the best of all time. And you talk about moxie, little non-contact ankle injury for Patrick Mahomes. He was right back out there. I think a lot of Bucs fans were like me. We're like, all right, hope he's not really hurt, but maybe he misses the rest of the game. Pat and I talked about that last week, and it almost happened. It almost happened yesterday. But Baker Mayfield is just a gamer. He is what I want, and I think a lot of Bucs fans, as far as the mentality, he's what I think a lot of us want Todd Bowles to be. Have that grit. Go out there and say, let's go win this damn thing. And I know Baker Mayfield at the end of that game wanted the ball in his hands to get a 2-point conversion to win it. I know Liam Cohen was ready with the right play call. And I saw in overtime what is a really bad picture now of the Bucs losing the coin toss and Baker Mayfield looking like we just lost the game before the defense even took the field. So, rough finish to what I thought was a really good performance overall from the Buccaneers yesterday. 888-546-4620. Let's go to Austin in Pinellas Park. What's up, Austin?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Thanks for fielding the call.
Of course, man.
So, just a few takeaways. I love the segue in a commercial break. That's just one of the main key points I was going to talk about. The fact that our offense went into Arrowhead on Monday night and put on the performance they did, it was spectacular. Sterling Shepard, key third down catches. Trey Palmer doing what Trey Palmer does. Kate Otten coming up big time. I watched the Monday night countdown, all these guys. Hey, Chiefs. Even your guys' colleague, T-Chris, had a final score prediction of 30-17.
I had 31-20. I had 31-20 Chiefs, if I'm being quite honest.
Yeah, and the fact that Baker Mayfield led an injury-depleted offense into Arrowhead, it was great. The key takeaways, too, it's the defense. There's just a void in the middle of the field. I don't know what it is, but Vita Vea, Kalijah Kancey coming up big, 4 sacks, 2 a pop.
Yep.
There's no pass rush. Patrick Mahomes, like you stated earlier, 11 for 11 on third down up until late third quarter, early fourth quarter. We got to get those stops. But
it was late fourth quarter, by the way.
I got to get off the phone here. I got to get on the clock for work. I appreciate you fielding the call. And, hey, Mike Evans gets back. Let's get a wild card spot, boys.
Hey, thank you for calling us before work. I thought it was a very good call, Austin. Appreciate it, man. Have a good day.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, frustrating. And the worst part is I think they did enough to win that football game. That's what stings the most. They're right there. In Kansas City, about to beat the champ. And Todd Bowles didn't have what it takes to put out the knockout shot. It's like having a fighter on the ropes and you see he's down. You see he just needs one more punch. He's wobbling. He's shaking. Knock him out. But they back off and they let them regroup and they're back in the fight. That's what happened yesterday with the Bucs, and that's what the decision happened with Todd Bowles not going for it on 2 late in that game. All right, we'll continue on the other side. We'll take more of your calls, 888-546-4620. I see you there, but first I want to tell you about my friends over at Suncoast Credit Union. And right now, when you're faced with the unexpected, your home's equity, it may be able to help you. So if you're experiencing high hurricane deductibles, we had a really bad month this last month, or long insurance claims processes, or maybe you just want to renovate your home on your own. Suncoast Credit Union's home equity loans, they can help you access the cash that you need, in many cases in 30 days or less, because at Suncoast Credit Union, they are here for you. They have always been here for you, and now more than ever, they are here with you to support you and support the community as well. So make sure you apply online. Don't miss out on this. Suncoast.com/restore. That's Suncoast.com/restore, RESTORE. Suncoast.com/restore. Membership is required. Other terms and conditions apply. All right, the Bucs, they showed fight. They showed grit. Do you have faith that the Bucs can right the ship on this season? That's coming up next on the Pat and Aaron Show. We'll take your calls as well.
At Rivard Buick GMC, our hearts go out to everyone affected by the recent storms. We understand the challenges of rebuilding. And if a new or a used vehicle is a part of that journey, Rivard is here for you. Rest assured, the massive discounts you're accustomed to remain, regardless of inventory levels. While many dealers may raise prices based on availability, Rivard stands firm and is committed to supporting our community through this tough time. Visit RivardBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Tampa Bay has champions. And Ken Hagen is Hillsborough County's biggest champion. Hagen fights for tax cuts, giving all of us relief from rising prices. Hagen redirected billions into growth projects, repaving and reducing traffic. Hagen protected our quality of life with flood prevention, infrastructure, and recreation improvements. And Hagen led the way for affordable housing, especially for seniors. Ken Hagen is Hillsborough's biggest champion. Paid for by Ken Hagen, Republican for Hillsborough County Commission.
Eric Gordon, owner of Printall and Final Destination, contacted his Applied Innovation rep for one reason.
He gave me the in to be able to start my own company and live my dream.
How did Applied Innovation help secure that dream?
So I asked them to provide me with commercial machinery at a budget that a startup can afford. And they came through with flying colors, and it was an amazing experience.
So you're sold on Applied Innovation?
Yes, they're real people. They treat you with respect. They're not just there for the job. And these guys, when they say that they'll be there, without a doubt.
How have you benefited from your Applied Innovation relationship?
Working with a company that cares, not having to lose sleep over whether or not they're going to be able to fix my issues.
Want to work with real people that care? Call Applied Innovation today, 800-521-0983, or visit appliedinnovation.com. Applied Innovation.
To our Florida neighbors, your Lowe's community is still here with you. As you recover after Hurricane Milton, you can lean on us for help with cleanup and repair. We're open and ready to help you get the supplies you need after the storm. We're here for your community. Visit Lowe's in-store or online to find out about relief efforts in your area and to get emergency supplies now.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Sounds like wipers. If your wipers are streaking, skipping, chattering, or even worse, loud, you need to visit AutoZone and get some fresh new blades. We've got basic wipers to get you back on the road, as well as premium blades from Bosch and Rain-X. So if you're hearing this, just head to your nearest AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
My name's Michael Green. I'm a captain with the Star Department.
When Captain Green went shopping for an engagement ring, he shopped dozens of jewelry stores, but he found the best price, the best quality, and the best service at International Diamond Center.
I probably wasn't the easiest customer. I was pretty picky, and those guys were completely patient. They helped me find exactly what I was looking for, and a huge help through the whole thing. Everything from when you walk to the door to, all the help we got to the pricing and the quality of the diamond.
And the icing on the cake? IDC's extra 15% discount for first responders and military, people on the front lines of service.
Yeah, it's definitely not a career you get into to get rich. When it comes to those sorts of things, we're kind of working off of a budget. But I've referred a few guys at work to the crew over there at International Diamond Center, and they've all been happy with it.
If you're a first responder, you'll always get the red carpet at IDC. White glove service, special financing, and a generous extra discount.
I had nothing but a wonderful experience with International Diamond Center. Really looked out for me and my family.
In Tampa, Clearwater, Lakeland, and Sarasota. Online, shopidc.com.
Sponsored by HowardTeamHomeLoans.com.
Broadcasting live from the Rude Air Conditioning Studios. We are Tampa Bay's home for sports. Shouting Go Bulls with horns raised for over 20 years and counting. 95.3 WDAE and the mighty AM 620. Powered locally by Ferguson HVAC.
Aaron Show, Aaron Jacobson, Casey Warner, along for the ride as he always is. First voice you'll hear if you call in, 888-546-4620. Pat Donovan taking the day off. Overtime game last night. The Bucs losing 30-24. Pat does the pre and post game for the Buccaneers on the radio. So he was up very, very late last night, and we all stayed up very late to watch just more heartbreak as the last 3 weeks have been absolutely brutal. 888-546-4620. What's it, like an election day or something today?
Election day, NFL trade deadline day.
Yep, 4 o'clock this afternoon,
Let's
trade
go.
deadline. Will the Bucs make a move? I think a lot of us are looking for them to get some help with this linebacker core. I think a lot of us are looking for a guy on the edge to help get after the quarterback. Certainly, a conversation today. Arden Key's a guy I'm looking at today to see what's going to happen. You got to look at some of the guys on teams that have just been awful and look for some of those guys to go. Arden Key might be one of them. 888-546-4620. Let's go to Ryan in Tampa. Good morning, Ryan.
What's up, Aaron? How you doing this morning?
Doing well, man. What's on your mind?
I got a couple of things for you. Last night's game felt like when you go to a nice restaurant and you're sitting there and you're really enjoying your meal, but they give you the really small sizes, and it's really good. You keep eating, you're like, man, I wish there was more. And that's the unfortunate part about how that game finished, because he just left you wanting more. So hopefully that hunger kind of lingers for them as well going into the next game. But last night I decided to watch the Manning cast just to get a little more information on what the Bucs are doing and things like that. And they had Bill Belichick on, and Bill Belichick loves his defense. And so he's talking about the defense, he's talking about how the middle of the field and how the offenses have changed with yards after catch. They like to use the middle of the field. And so as you're watching this game, he kept saying middle of the field, middle of the field, middle of the field, and boom, middle of the field was wide open. So we need to find a way to secure the middle of the field in order to get off the field on third down, because that's the scenes where everybody's going on third down. So, and then I just want to say lastly, I'm very impressed with Liam Cohen and the way he's been calling the offenses, especially the last couple of weeks. With the injuries and things going on, they keep us in every game. It's been very impressive. Baker, very impressive. No turnovers in a wet game. It's we got a chance, and that's all we can ask for as a Bucs fan.
Yep.
I'll hang up and listen. Thank you.
Good call, Ryan. Appreciate the call. 888-546-4620. Yeah, how do you feel right now? How do you feel with this team that showed a ton of fight yesterday? Now they're going to take on San Francisco and the 49ers. And by the way, Christian McCaffrey looking to be ready for that game in Tampa Bay against the Buccaneers. So next Sunday at 1 o'clock, be ready to see Christian McCaffrey suiting up for the 49ers. How effective will he be in game one? Well, when he's out on the field, we know he's a menace to society. So we'll see. But it becomes such an important game to either go 5-5 into the bye, 4-6 into the bye with the Falcons doing what they're doing. You had a chance last night to go 5-4 and beat the Chiefs, and you didn't do it. And I think a lot of us are looking at Todd Bowles and saying, is this who you are? Are you going to change? Are you going to dig deep and have some chutzpah? Put it on the table. Have a little moxie, as I mentioned earlier. Little grit. Wouldn't we like to see that from our head coach? Isn't that something that people would want to see from Todd Bowles? Well, we're not seeing it, and we haven't really seen it. And when we do see it, when we do see Todd Bowles get aggressive, it seems to be at the worst times. And it seems to not work out. And then we're all scratching our heads saying, why were you aggressive there? But in the times where we know it's actually okay to be aggressive, and some people would have faulted you if you missed that 2-point conversion last night, no doubt about it. Probably the same people that said that you should have done it last night. They probably would have been killing you. But at least you show your team. At least you show a guy who I know wanted that football in his hands with that 2-point conversion in Baker Mayfield, a leader of this team. At least you show him and those other guys in the locker room and the guys on offense that I don't care if we're down our top 3 receivers. You guys have been moving the football. I trust you. Go win us a football game. Liam Cohen, what a job you've been doing calling plays for this team. Go win a football game. Dial up one more. You've been doing it all night. Dial up one more. Didn't get that opportunity. 888-546-4620. Let's go to Kurt in Oklahoma. What's up, Kurt?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, I've been listening to you guys for about an hour and a half or so, and it's like really rough to hear all the beatdown on the team in Bowles. I think they did exceptional going into KC. It's a tough place, to play. They are the Super Bowl champs, and I was really, really overall impressed with the team. What was laid out there. If we wouldn't have had the timeout there prior to scoring and left so much time really basically on the clock, the 33 seconds, I mean, that's just in 3 timeouts. Going for 2 to me, that wasn't a big decision because Mahomes in 33 seconds and 3 timeouts, you might as well have given him 5 minutes. I just don't see the hammering on that. It didn't guarantee a win. It just gave you a point of being ahead, but you still got to protect that. And,
but to your point, he still made the mistake by calling the timeout, then leaving too much time on the clock. I think a lot of us agreed he didn't need to call that timeout.
And that's that. I would be hammering him more on that than the fact of going for 2. If we had gone for 2 with like 3 seconds or whatever, I'm all with you there. But
all right, fine. Either way, regardless, Kurt, it's bad management from the head coach at the end of the game in a pivotal moment.
Yeah. Well, I'm not that. Well, you can't compound one mistake with 2. I just say they should have never called that timeout. But you also remember the play there where we had the incompletion, right? And I mean that same play could have happened on the go for 2. I mean it was a great play. It was there, but it didn't happen. The ball was in his hands, and it didn't happen. So I just think it was that timeout that really took away the 2 point.
And it could be. And that you might be right there, Kurt. You might be right. And thank you for the call. We won't know. But poor management at the end of that game. And I think the one thing that just rips all our hearts out after a game like that and staying up all night is you get to overtime and you don't even get to see Baker Mayfield with a football in his hands, which that has to change in the NFL. They have to change the overtime rules to match what they've done with the change for the playoffs. It's absurd that both teams, and I know if we look back years ago, if you kicked a field goal, the game was over, which now just seems ridiculous when you think about it, that you could just get the ball in overtime, go kick a field goal, and that's the game. Ridiculous. But we're at a point right now with the way offenses move in this game where, and for the fans, it's just a better experience if you give both teams an opportunity to go win the football game. And then it changes the whole, outlook of the coin toss. Do you want to go play defense, get the football back and win the game? You want to get the football? I mean, most people are going to take the football and go give yourself a chance to score first. That would be the obvious choice. But right now, I mean, you saw Baker Mayfield's face when they didn't get that coin toss. It was like game over. Defense didn't even have to come out there. Game was over in his mind. Let's go to Brian. We'll take one more. Rick, we'll get you on the other side. We're in the 8 o'clock hour. Let's go to Brian in Rochester. What's up, Brian?
Hey, good morning, man. Listen, tough game, tough 3-game stretch that they've had. Potentially, another loss coming up against San Francisco. I mean, I do think the Bucs will have a decent chance of at least staying in that game against San Francisco. But, the Niners match up real well, and the type of offense that they play, of course, very good defense out there. But, I guess the good news or the silver lining is that after the Niners game and then after their bye, there's really not a team on the schedule in the second half. Maybe the Chargers. Yeah,
maybe Chargers. Dallas doesn't look good. So I'm with you. I'm with you. I think that we've talked about this on the show, Brian, that I think the schedule is soft, and that's why if you could have stole one in Kansas City last night and been 5-5 going into the bye, I think you would have had a really good shot down the stretch to do what they did that Super Bowl year and run the table, or at least come close down the stretch. That's why last night it's kind of if you're Todd Bowles, and that's why I think he should have gone for 2. You went into that game, a lot of people think you were going to lose. Go win the game. You have a chance.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I think this team has had the success that it has had when, like last year, the year before when they made the playoffs, in spite of Todd Bowles. I'm not a Todd Bowles fan. I think he's a great defensive coordinator. I'll never forget, the job he did the year we won the Super Bowl, 3 years ago. But as a head coach, I just feel like he does not have that connection with the players. You mentioned Dan Campbell out in Detroit. They love playing for him because he takes chances. He's a fiery guy. You listen to Todd Bowles' press conferences, I want to fall asleep. He's just not. I just don't think he's a great head coach. And being a defensive-minded guy, his defense is not good. And if that's your role as a head coach is to, turn the offense over to Liam Cohen, who's done a great job. But if your job as head coach is to, manage the defense and be defensive-minded, he has definitely failed that test. He's not done a good job. And I understand, it's on the players to make the plays and to, do their job as well. But some of the schemes that he runs, like third down, the caller before mentioned the third down and in the middle of the field. I mean, Patrick Mahomes could throw any ball he wanted in the middle of the field.
Anything. And that's what he did. And thank you for the call, Brian. We're up against it. I mean, at one point until the end of that game, 11 for 11 on third down throwing the football was Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he was just incredible. So I really think you look at it and, the comparison for me is with Todd Bowles is Dan Campbell. It's what we're all talking about. Look at the Lions and the ascension of the Lions. And I remember last year, the year before, Dan Campbell, I think it was last year, went for 2 against the Cowboys for the win with about 30 seconds left. They got it, but there was a penalty that was called on a controversial play. The Lions went for it again. They lost that game. Is anybody giving Dan Campbell crap? No. Everyone looks at Dan Campbell as that guy. He's an aggressive guy, and the team's going to do whatever they can to run through a wall for that guy to go win a football game. And this team loves Todd Bowles, no doubt in my mind. But are they going to run through a wall for him? Are they going to run through a wall to win that game? And I think Todd Bowles saying he's not going to go for 2 in Kansas City to win that game gives you the answer for if Todd Bowles is going to run through walls as well for this team. 888-546-4620. Let's get into, if you want to jump aboard on the Bucs, we'll take your calls on the other side. If I don't see any big calls on the board, we'll get into Situation Men. That's coming up next on the Pat and Aaron Show.
WDAE
Traffic update.
from the Safe Touch Security Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's.
Crash being cleared at Belcher and Northeast Coachman. Also one on southbound Belcher at Nebraska in the right-hand lane. Crash in Tampa, southbound Dale Mabry, just south of Bush Boulevard, northbound 22nd Street near the Selman Expressway. And seeing delays on southbound 275, Fletcher towards Sly. Get traffic info around the clock by searching News Radio WFLA on iHeartRadio. I'm Randy Myers.
To our Florida neighbors, your Lowe's community is still here with you as you recover after Hurricane Milton. Lean on them for help with cleanup and repair. Visit Lowe's in store or online to find out about relief efforts in your area and to get emergency supplies now. To our Florida neighbors, your Lowe's community is still here with you as you recover after Hurricane Milton. Lean on them for help with cleanup and repair. Visit Lowe's in store or online to find out about relief efforts in your area and to get emergency supplies now.
Listening on the free iHeartRadio app? Thanks to Farrah and Farrah, it's never been easier to send your opinions directly to your favorite show. When you open the app, click the red talkback microphone and hit send. Farrah and Farrah, here to make it easy, Tampa.
The Monster Energy AMA Supercross Championship races into Tampa Bay.
Here we go!
Witness intense competition as the world's elite riders battle for the coveted title of Supercross Champion. Tickets on sale now. Coming to Raymond James Stadium February 8th. Visit supercrosslive.com.
New South Window lives southern weather. We prioritize keeping your family and your home comfortable all year round. That's why our energy-efficient windows and doors are made, installed, and guaranteed for life.
Save 35% off. Visit newsouthwindow.com/radio.
Hey guys, T-Kraz here from my guys over at C4MH.com. Have you been hitting the gym more this year, but you feel like you're not getting anywhere? Frustrating, right? Well, if you're over 40, the problem might be low T. Testosterone is a primary hormone needed for building that muscle, guys. And if your testosterone is low, you'll be working twice as hard at the gym and getting nowhere. So know before you go and get your testosterone tested from my guys over at C4MH.com. Just $45 gets you lab results and a medical exam. And C4MH.com only treats with pharmaceutical testosterone and never that cheap cut rate compounded testosterone that all of those pop-up T clinics use. C4MH.com never makes you pay for treatments in advance, no financial contracts to sign, and no financing needed, as C4MH.com is a medical clinic, not a marketing company. Just $170 a month and $90 for follow-up labs. No surprises and no upsells. C4MH.com, the leader in low T care. Tell me your boy T-Kraz, Tom Krasnicki sent you.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
To our Florida neighbors, your Lowe's community is still here with you. As you recover after Hurricane Milton, you can lean on us for help with cleanup and repair. We're open and ready to help you get the supplies you need after the storm. We're here for your community. Visit Lowe's in-store or online to find out about relief efforts in your area and to get emergency supplies now.
Get election coverage you need wherever you are with the free iHeartRadio app. Open the app and search election to listen to iHeart's 24/7 news channel. iHeartRadio, always live for events that matter. Open the app and listen now.
I am delighted to have one of my good friends here with me today. Guess who?
Ronnie, it's me, Elizabeth Holland, co-founder of the Holland Group Retirement Wealth Advisors. Our listeners are reaching out to us wondering how to protect their retirement accounts and plan for a more sustainable retirement. You're not alone if you're wondering the same.
Call us at 727-228-6449 to learn how we can help, or Google the Holland Group Retirement Wealth Advisors.
What's the Anajar Levine difference? When you're injured in a car crash, we focus on your case so you can focus on the one thing that matters most, getting better. I'm Glenn Levine with Anajar Levine. We'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call our legal team right now for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. We'll help you take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
Main office, Tampa.
Good Greek moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
This report is sponsored by Neal Communities, where you live matters.
Mostly sunny today on this election day. We do have a 20% chance of showers and thunder showers in the afternoon. Our high right around 86. Overnight, mostly cloudy. Chance of evening showers and thunder showers. Our low right around 78. Tomorrow, Wednesday, better chance of showers. About a 50% chance of showers and thunder showers. Our high right around 86. Get weather info around the clock by searching News Radio WFLA on iHeartRadio. I'm John Thomas.
At Neal Communities, they believe where you live matters. That's why they are offering a special financial assistance program to help ease homeowners' burdens after the recent storms. Visit NealCommunitiesCares.com for details on how you can start fresh in a new home now. Visit NealCommunityCares.com today.
Bookmark it. 95.3 WDAE.com for all your Tampa Bay sports needs and more. Now, back to the Pat and Aaron Show on WDAE. Streaming live on Alexa and the free iHeartRadio app.
It's a bird. No, it's a plane. No.
Who are you supposed to be?
It's your friendly neighborhood situation man.
Time for a little Situation Man on the Pat and Aaron Show. Pat back later in the week. Aaron Jacobson here with Casey Warner. I see your phone calls. Eddie and CJ will get to you in a second. We got a couple Situation Men pertaining to the Buccaneers, and then we'll get right to your phone calls. Casey Warner, what do we got?
All right, first things first, this becomes even more glaring after last night's loss while the defense struggled again for the Buccaneers. Today is NFL trade deadline day, so which trade would you prefer for the Bucs defense? Getting an elite cornerback for a first or second round draft pick, or an above average edge rusher for a third round or later draft pick?
I would love an elite cornerback, but I just don't think that the Buccaneers are going to go out there and trade a first or second round draft pick. And I also don't think one elite corner is going to change this defense. But what I do think is an above average edge rusher, a guy who can get after the quarterback. That's going to take some time out of the quarterback's hands, and they're not going to be able to convert some of those third downs. They're not going to be able to move the football like we've been seeing with ease against this defense, this Buccaneers defense at some point. So I think if you can trade about maybe a fifth-round pick to get an above-average edge rusher, I think that would be the move that I would make if I was Jason Light and company.
All right, next one. There are now 5 4-win teams in the NFC stacked up right there just below the 7 seed in the wild card currently. Which 2 are guaranteed to not make the playoffs out of Chicago, LA Rams, San Francisco, Tampa Bay, and Seattle?
To not make the playoffs.
Got to choose 2.
I'm going to start with the Chicago Bears. I just think the division they're in, the matchups that they're going to have, when you look ahead to their schedule, they've still got the Packers, they got the Vikings, they got the Lions twice, they got the Vikings twice, they got the Packers twice. They haven't even faced the division yet. So they are going to be in for a rough run and a rough stretch down here. So I don't think the Bears are going to make the playoffs guaranteed. And then I'm going to the NFC West. Who am I going with? The Rams or the Seahawks? The Rams or the Seahawks? It's the Seahawks. I mean, Geno Smith has shown that he can throw the football, but I just don't think they're a for-real team. And they've got a couple tests down the stretch as well. So I think the Seahawks are not going to make that as well. Seahawks and the Bears.
Okay, so in that case, the LA Rams, the San Francisco 49ers, and your Tampa Bay Bucs would just get in the playoffs with a wild card.
There you have it. There's Situation Man, and let's get right back to the phones. 888-546-4620 after the Bucs' tough loss to the Chiefs in overtime yesterday. CJ's been waiting the longest. Good morning, CJ.
Hey, how you guys doing? Hey, how you doing?
Hanging in there, man. What's on your mind?
Oh, yeah, I got I don't know if anybody said it, but I got an idea for overtime. So the team who wins the coin toss, if they score, the other team has a chance to score, but if they score, they have to go for 2.
I like it. It's kind of like college football a little bit, how they have to go for two, in the second overtime.
Yeah, but they both have to.
Yeah.
It's not like if one scores, the other one has to.
No. So my idea is, okay, you win a coin toss. Okay, so now you have the advantage. So the advantage is if you score the touchdown first, you could kick the extra point. But the team that has a chance, if they score, they have to go for two.
So basically, it's like putting the pressure on that first team that scores. Do you want to kick the extra point? Or you want to go for two to avoid potentially losing on the next possession?
Yes.
And
that'll let you know. And that'll let you know if the coach trusts the defense.
You one of those creative guys, CJ?
I just thought of it
you are
right before I called.
If you just thought about right before you call, I'm going to go ahead and say you're a creative human being, CJ.
Well, you're the first person to say that.
Oh, shucks.
Right? I can feel you blushing through the phone, CJ. That's what I went for. Thank you for the call, man. Good call. Appreciate it.
I like it, man, because here's the thing.
I do like it.
That's the answer I think I'm kind of searching for, because I like in college overtime how both teams have to do the same thing. You have to get a stop. You have to score if you want to win the game. But I don't like how it's at the 25. This kind of puts the NFL feel onto it when you have to go the whole field and they still get both get a chance, but then you have to have the two. So, I mean, it kind of combines both. I like
it. Overtime's rare. Go ahead and change it a little bit. But don't make it so one team has the advantage because they get the freaking coin toss. Might as well just rock, paper, scissors to see who wins the damn thing. It's ridiculous. 8 o'clock hour, we'll get right back into your calls. See the lines are loaded. 888-546-4620. Going to get to some of the texts as well. 82945. Start your text with DAE. It's the Pat and Aaron Show.
The Player of the Night, presented by Rivard Buick GMC.
Your Tampa Bay Buccaneers came up just short in overtime. To who? Patrick Mahomes, of course. He went 34 of 44, 291 yards passing, and 3 touchdowns through the air. Patrick Mahomes is your Rivard Buick GMC Player of the Night. Rivard Buick GMC. No games, no gimmicks, no hidden fees. Check out that inventory easily at RivardBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade. I am Casey Warner, and this is 95.3 WDAE and AM 620.
The choice is clear. At Mazda of Clearwater, they believe in supporting our community, not taking advantage of it. Discover their disaster relief assistance and spread the word. Mazda of Clearwater, just south of East Bay Drive on US 19, or online at MazdaofClearwater.com.
Log on now to the contest page at 953WDAE.com for your shot to beat the pro on the drive this Friday. Or you could qualify for a 5-night stay in an oceanfront suite, plus airfare, food, and a free round of golf at the Buccaneer Resort in St. Croix. No passport required. Just bring your A game. Hit up the contest page now and register to beat the pro on Tampa Bay's home for football. 95.3 WDAE and AM 620.
Hey, it's Mark with PG Men's Health. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? We've got a groundbreaking solution that's transformed the lives of thousands of men. Our acoustic wave technology is backed by over 50 clinical studies, including research from Cambridge University. It revitalizes blood flow by repairing blood vessels, all without the need for pills or the worry of side effects. If you're ready to get the blood flowing where you want it, when you want it, call us now. Not only will you get the exam, the assessment, even the blood flow ultrasound completely free, but for those who call today, we're also throwing in your first treatment free. This is worth hundreds of dollars, and it's yours free if you call in the next 2 minutes. Call 813-769-0890. That's 813-769-0890. Guys, it's time to reclaim your love life and put an end to your erectile dysfunction. Call 813-769-0890. Locations in both Tampa and Sarasota. Call PG Men's Health now to qualify. 813-769-0890.
iHeartRadio has the 2024 presidential election covered with Decision 2024. Listen for real-time results and updates as the votes come in. From key races to national trends, our team will cover it all. Tonight, stay informed and stay connected on the go with your free iHeartRadio app. Just search election to listen to iHeart's 24/7 news channel.
A people-first presidency.
Make America great again.
Decision 2024 on iHeartRadio.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
Broadcasting from the Rude Air Conditioning Studios. The reigning, defending, and undisputed home of Tampa Bay sports talk for over 20 years. We are 95.3 FM W237CW Pinellas Park, 95.7 WRUB HD3 Clearwater, 96.7 FM W224BE Brandon, and the mighty 620 WDAE St. Petersburg. Streaming live right now on your free iHeartRadio app. All your sports, music, talk, and podcasts. Hey, Tampa Bay, free has never sounded so good. Sports talk for your ride home. On the Drive with T-Kraz. This afternoon at 3. Now, back to the Pat and Aaron Show on WDAE. Streaming live on Alexa and the free iHeartRadio app.
No, not ideal. Against a team like that, it comes down to little things. Everybody has a hand in this one. I think for the half, penalties and not completing the ball on a couple of easy throws and on that last drive before halftime that really giving away 3 points. And, when you look at it against a team like this, that's the difference in winning and losing. And so, just disappointing overall. But our guys fought. And against a team on the offense like that, like it's you can only give them so many chances. So when you win the coin toss, that's what happens. But then, I'm proud of all the guys we had on offense that stepped up. And, Todd had a good message. We're that close. And don't get used to losing, but just turn this thing around. And we got a home game next week, and it's an NFC opponent, and got to find a way to win. That's it.
That's the good message, Baker Mayfield. Don't get used to losing. Oh, my gosh. How about we didn't need to have that message if Todd was a little more aggressive? How about you look your coach in the eye and say, here's a message for you. Moxie, grit. Take some notes from your boy, Baker Mayfield. And very honorable of Baker to put that on his shoulders and say, I missed some easy passes at the end of the half. You came right out of there, out of the half in the third quarter, and drove that team down for a touchdown after a really good return from Bucky Irving that got him basically to midfield. So I think you did your part last night, Baker Mayfield. I just wish you had an opportunity at the end of the game, either in overtime to do your part or really with that 2-point conversion to do your part. And I think today, and you can join the show, 888-546-4620, 82945 on the text line. Start your text with DAE. I think a lot of us feel the same way today. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. And unfortunately for Todd Bowles, when it's all said and done, that might be the tagline of his coaching career as a head coach for the Buccaneers. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. And last night, he didn't, with an opportunity to win at Arrowhead against the best quarterback on the planet. But instead, you chanced it, you let it go to overtime, they won the toss, and that was it. And Baker Mayfield knew it the second they lost that coin toss that Patrick Mahomes is going to be Patrick Mahomes. And I thought Pat Mahomes had his best game of the season yesterday. Unfortunately, it came against the Bucs. And then the Bucs have to go face the 49ers next week, where they're getting Christian McCaffrey back most likely. A lot of fun. 888-546-4620. Let's go to Eddie in Riverview. What's on your mind, Eddie?
Hey, good morning. How y'all doing?
Doing well.
Sure, I just got two things I want to say. First off, the guy CJ, that was brilliant. The guy who called last, CJ, that was absolutely brilliant.
I like that idea. And if you missed it, CJ's idea for overtime, if people weren't listening, CJ thinks in overtime, the team that scores first, they can either go for one or go for two. But the team that goes second, they get the ball no matter what. But if they score, they have to go for two. They have to go for that 2-point conversion. I liked it.
I loved it. So, and also I wanted to say, man, Bowles, I don't want to get too down on Bowles. I know ultimately Bowles is not going to be here very long. I don't care what anyone says. Bowles is just not. He's not going to be here long. This is not going to work. He's not working out here. He hasn't been working out here as a head coach. I feel like if you remember Mike Smith back in the day with Dirk Cutter, I feel like Lovie Smith's like Tony Dungy and Mike Smith had a baby. Like the defensive scheme he uses, I don't care if you trade for a first-round pick to get a good cornerback or two good cornerbacks. It doesn't matter who you have on your roster when the scheme is that terrible. To not press receivers at the line of scrimmage when you're getting beat downfield constantly, to play your guys 10 yards off the line of scrimmage and they're still getting beat, and you make those kind of adjustments that cause those kind of results, I'm sorry, man. He's not a defensive coordinator and a head coach. He's one or the other, and he's not good at head coaching. He needs to be a defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
He needs to go back, focus on defense. Stop trying to be the head coach and the defensive coordinator. It's not working, and it's not going to work. It's terrible.
The mid-game adjustments and the game plan as the game is evolving and making alterations, to be quite honest, has never been a strong suit for Todd Bowles. It just hasn't.
It hasn't. Even with the Jets and the Dolphins, it hasn't. It's never been. So, and it's just terrible. And I feel like when you watch these big games, he can't win big games. You watch the big games in the regular season. I know we won a Super Bowl with him as a defensive coordinator. I'm talking to the head coach. It seems like they get to the stadium, get off the bus, and draw up the game plan in the dirt. Like they all huddle up and just like, hey guys, let's go over what we're going to do today. He doesn't have any professional game plan, it seems like. And I know they actually plan and they go in the game room and they plan. It's terrible scheming. I mean, you getting beat downfield constantly, bro. Push the receiver, touch the receivers, bump them off the line of scrimmage. Do something. Stop letting them run right by you. It's just dumb.
The best coaches make adjustments, even if they don't feel like they have the personnel. They make adjustments to try to make it work. And I think if you look at Todd Bowles' career, Eddie, even going back to as a defensive coordinator, where I thought he was fantastic, and the guys love playing for him. The guys in this locker room love Todd Bowles, no doubt about it. Does he motivate them? I have no idea. But do they love him? Yes. But you look back even to some of his biggest moments of his career, even as a defensive coordinator, the biggest moments, did you put the right play out there? Did you put the right scheme out there? Do you have the guys in position? And we can go back to the championship game against the Rams, and we all remember.
The Rams, right.
Cooper
Terrible
Kupp,
call,
zero blitz. So in that moment, in these moments, in big moments in games, make or break situations, Todd Bowles, going all the way back to defensive coordinator, has made mistakes in those moments.
It's awful. Are you playing to win or are you playing not to lose? And it feels like he's playing not to lose, and I hate that.
Agreed.
I absolutely hate that. Dan Campbell is playing to win. Why are we playing not to lose? I hate that.
Yeah,
so, thanks,
it's frustrating.
Man, for the call.
Hey,
thank you so much, man.
Really good call. Thank you, Eddie. Appreciate the call. And in really good points, because it is. I was harsh on Todd last year, but I've come around on him. He's a good guy, and the guys in this locker room love him. They do. They love Todd Bowles. How could you not? He's a really good guy. There's no reason to not love him. He's not Urban Meyer, right? He's not going kicking Chase McLaughlin while he's doing warm-ups. He's not doing that. But he's not a guy that I look like this team is going to run through a wall for. Baker Mayfield is a guy this team will run through a wall for. Got to see that out of the head coach. You know Dan Campbell is that way. You hear how those guys in that locker room talk about Dan Campbell, and they'll break cinder blocks over their head for Dan Campbell if they have to. That's what I want out of my head coach. And I want to feel like in a big moment, even though it might be an odd decision, and some people might have thought last night going for 2 to win the game would be an odd decision at that moment instead of just, hey, you fought back, let's go to overtime and see what you can do. I think it's, in this day and age, an aggressive and the right decision. And the way that we should be seeing head coaches going out there and coaching in the middle of the game and making decisions at the end of the game to say, I trust you guys, go win us a ball game. Let's go to Gene in Tampa. Good morning, Gene.
Hey, good morning. Yes, I have an overtime solution. Real easy.
Let's hear it.
All you got to do is the home team should always win the toss. And in that case, that will convince a lot of teams to go for 2 if they have to. Thanks.
Thank you for the call. All right, let's explore that. Casey, you explore with me. The home team always wins the toss.
So in that case, there's no need for a toss, right?
Yeah, you wouldn't need a toss. The home team gets the ball.
Yeah, home team gets the ball. You get home field advantage. And
I don't know.
And he means the home team has to go for 2? Is that what he
No, I think he's just saying that the home team gets the ball. So he's saying that the Bucs last night would have known going for that 2-point conversion. They should have gone for it because the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes were getting the ball no matter what.
Right.
That's what he's saying.
Okay, so you already have, knowledge
the
going
mindset.
in. Okay.
Exactly.
I mean, I think that adds more context, and that solves one issue.
I like CJ's more. Like, it's a new period. It's a new quarter.
Yeah.
So go out, and it's 10 minutes. Go out and make it 15 minutes. Give each team a possession. Okay, fine. If CJ wants to say the second possession team has to go for 2 if they score a touchdown, if the first possession team scores a touchdown, you want to add a little wrinkle to that, make it a little fun, totally get it. But I don't like the way it is now. And I think a lot of people would agree the way it is now. It's not right after you saw what this offense and what Baker Mayfield did last night, by the way, without his top 3 wide receivers. And for him to not get a ball and a chance in that overtime, it's criminal.
I think the one thing that almost 9 out of 10, maybe even 100% of people agree with about the NFL overtime rule is the coin flip. I mean, that's so outdated, man. That's basically like, in Major League Baseball before they had replay and you're guessing which side the ball went on the foul pole. Kind of like that. It's just an outdated rule, I think.
I agree.
You got to take that out.
On the text line, Todd Bowles' problem is he plays not to lose. He doesn't play to win, and that causes you to lose, just like a prevent defense. Can't argue with that. I mean, I cannot argue with Todd Bowles and lacking the aggression that you need to win football games in this league. And if you're coaching to not lose, you're coaching scared. And if you're coaching scared, you're going to lose more football games in this league than you're going to win. 888-546-4620 if you want to join the show. How dire is next week against the 49ers? Let's look at the matchup. Let's look ahead to the rest of the season, and let's get into the Bucs' chances that their playoffs aren't fading away here and they can get right back in the hunt. What are those chances? We'll get into that next on the Pat and Aaron Show. But before we do that, Bucs battling some injuries. We've seen Chris Godwin go down. We've seen Mike Evans go down, and got to get Mike Evans back after the bye week. But if you are battling an injury yourself, we have the doctors on from the Florida Orthopedic Institute in partnership with Tampa General Hospital. They come on every Thursday. We like to talk about injuries that are impacting whether it's a player on the Bucs or it's a player around the league, but also injuries that you might be dealing with. And a lot of you are dealing with an injury right now, and you're just kind of going through life, going through the motions and thinking, oh, it's not that bad. It's not great, but I don't really know who I have to see to get this thing fixed. Well, I do. It's Florida Orthopedic Institute and Tampa General Hospital, the highly skilled board-certified physicians and surgeons. They are going to make sure you get right. So to access that world-class orthopedic care right here in Tampa Bay, call 1-800-FL-ORTHO or simply go to floridaortho.com. We'll take your calls on the Buccaneers and that tough loss in overtime to the Chiefs next on the Pat and Aaron Show.
WDAE
Traffic update.
From the Safe Touch Security Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Robert Half.
Delays in Tampa near the port on northwestbound Causeway towards 20th Street. A crash near the Selman Expressway blocks a number of lanes. Extra heavy traffic on northbound 50th approaching the Selman, and we're seeing delays westbound I-4 from before MLK towards 275. Crash on southbound Dale Mabry south of Bush Boulevard. Crash on northbound Sheldon at Linebaugh. Get traffic info around the clock by searching News Radio WFLA on iHeartRadio. I'm Randy Myers.
9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half is here to help. Their recruiting professionals utilize their award-winning AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today. 9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half is here to help. Their recruiting professionals utilize their award-winning AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
It's been a tough few weeks with Hurricanes Milton and Helene. If you're like our guy John Howard and suffered extensive damage on your home and you're not quite sure how to get back to normal, give him a call. He's been researching options with insurance and grants and has a wealth of knowledge for others. He has renovation loans to get your home back to better than before, construction loans if you're deciding to rebuild, and loans for renters that do not require a down payment if you've been displaced. Find out more at howardteamhomeloans.com.
Lower LLC NMLS 1124061. Equal housing opportunity. Terms and conditions apply.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmett Smith on behalf of Depend, and I've got the perfect play. Run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing catch. Because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable, and one blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, Depend is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 40 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for Depend Shield Guards Real Fit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000 void in Mississippi.
Attention football fans, the season's heating up, and that means it's time for jaw-dropping plays, spectacular touchdowns, and memories that'll last a lifetime. So if you're looking to grab the best seats for all the excitement, Vivid Seats is your go-to playmaker. With an incredible selection of tickets and a game-changing rewards program, Vivid Seats is your ticket to every thrilling moment. Don't miss out. Experience it live with Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Tampa Bay has champions. And Ken Hagen is Hillsborough County's biggest champion. Hagen fights for tax cuts, giving all of us relief from rising prices. Hagen redirected billions into growth projects, repaving and reducing traffic. Hagen protected our quality of life with flood prevention, infrastructure, and recreation improvements. And Hagen led the way for affordable housing, especially for seniors. Ken Hagen is Hillsborough's biggest champion. Paid for by Ken Hagen, Republican for Hillsborough County Commission.
Get election coverage you need wherever you are with the free iHeartRadio app. Open the app and search election to listen to iHeart's 24/7 news channel. iHeartRadio, always live for events that matter. Open the app and listen now.
In today's Marketers Report, Kate Cronin, Chief Brand Officer of Moderna, weighs in on the speed of audio production.
In this day and age, and particularly at Moderna, where we have new information coming out on a regular basis, being able to feed that information to the audio format makes being nimble and pivoting easy, and that's what I really like about it.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, influencers, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores.
Mostly sunny today on this election day. We do have a 20% chance of showers and thunder showers in the afternoon. Our high right around 86. Overnight, mostly cloudy. Chance of evening showers and thunder showers. Our low right around 78. Tomorrow, Wednesday, better chance of showers. About a 50% chance of showers and thunder showers. Our high right around 86. Get weather info around the clock by searching News Radio WFLA on iHeartRadio. I'm John Thomas.
Staples has amazing deals on everything you need for the holidays. From custom holiday cards and photo gifts to laptops and gaming systems, even shipping solutions. And now save up to $350 on select computers. In-store only. Offer ends 11/16. Unwrap huge holiday savings at Staples.
Take WDAE with you anywhere you want with a free iHeartRadio app and using your Alexa. Now, back to the Pat and Aaron Show on WDAE, streaming live on Alexa and the free iHeartRadio app.
Welcome back to the Pat and Aaron Show. Pat Donovan out today. Aaron Jacobson with Casey Warner. Tough loss for the Bucs in overtime yesterday to the Chiefs in Kansas City. A real opportunity let slip away. Now the question is, what are they going to do today? Are they going to upgrade with the deadline this afternoon for the trade deadline? Fast approaching. We know some of the needs they have. They got to go out and get a defensive end. Got to get some pass rush. A linebacker would be fantastic. Maybe a corner. Maybe a receiver. Mike Williams of the Jets is sitting out there on an island. Maybe go get Mike Williams. I don't think it's going to cost a lot to go get that help from Mike Williams. But we just saw a move. This is official. Breaking news out of the NFL. The Detroit Lions, they are not standing pat. They are going to make some moves, especially losing Aiden Hutchinson. They got to get some help. They have acquired defensive end Zadarius Smith in a trade with the Cleveland Browns. So they're finalizing that today. The Lions sent Cleveland a 2025 fifth-round pick and a 2026 sixth-round pick in exchange, and then they will get back. The Lions will get a seventh-round pick in exchange for 2026. But it's a guy in Smith who's got 5 sacks throughout the first 9 games of the season. Cleveland is not a good team. He's got 65 career sacks. His base salary is very low. So you go out there and you let the Lions make a move, and if you're the Bucs, you missed out again. And you got to think, you didn't get Zadarius Smith, maybe something along the lines of an Arden Key trade, a 6th-round draft pick in exchange, whatever it is. I don't think it's going to cost a lot. You got to go get the help. I think today, before the deadline is over, if you're the Buccaneers, you have to go get help on defense. I think the offense, if you want to add a receiver to help right now, great. Mike Williams, I think, is a good option. Low risk, high reward. But the offense is not the concern right now. This is a top 10 offense, even without Chris Godwin, even without Mike Evans, even with the run game not doing anything yesterday, even with, for some reason, Liam Cohen, who I love so much, refusing to utilize what was the hottest back in the league in Sean Tucker, which I just don't understand. They had the run game going early, then they moved away from it, couldn't establish it. So offense, you can make some moves, get a receiver, but really on defense, that's where I'm looking today before the deadline, is to go out there and get some help, get a pass rusher, get a linebacker, get somebody that's going to help change the momentum of this defense. 888-546-4620. Let's go to Russell, who's in Chicago. What's up, Russell?
Morning, guys.
Morning.
Hey, guys, just a couple quick points. First of all, I think with Todd Bowles, I've arrived at kind of where I did when Tony Dungy was in his last year or two. I kind of felt like he's going to take you so far, and then he's not going to be able to get you beyond that. And I feel the same way about Todd Bowles. But I think it's interesting, the contrast in the coaching of Bowles with his defense and Liam Cohen with his offense. Liam Cohen is without his 2 top receivers, and you can see how he's adjusting his offense to match his personnel. He's getting production. 24 points last night, 24 points last week. Todd Bowles, who has most of his guys back, except for Jamel Dean, who I'm sure is still healing from the burns that he was getting when he was on the field. But he still has most of his guys out there, and yet the defensive production is the same. They gave up another 31 points last night. And so I just think it's interesting to watch both coaches, and what I'm seeing is one coach who's adjusting to his personnel and his situation and getting results, and the other coach who continues to do the same thing and is getting the same bad results. It's very frustrating, and you know what, guys? I think it's time for a change from Bowles after this season.
And that might be what's happening here. They don't do it midseason a lot of the times, but I think at the end of the season, that's what they're on their way to. Thank you for the call, Russell. Appreciate it. And listen, I'm a guy who I've been a big supporter of what Jason Light has done for this team. Great job in the draft. Typically doesn't go out and get the help in the middle of the season by trading draft capital. At this point today, I mean, I think if the Bucs win last night, how could you not go out and make a trade and bring in some help on defense? If you're 5-5 or 5-4 going into the San Francisco game with, at the very worst, going into your bye at 5-5 with a light schedule down the stretch, you better go out there and be a buyer. My concern now, and it's been my concern for the last couple of days, is that the Buccaneers aren't going to make a move. And to me, the sign of them not making a move, not being buyers, not only they're going to be sellers, but not being buyers shows me maybe they don't have as much faith as some Bucs fans have in this season still. And I understand that. You lose Chris Godwin like they did, and you're down a lot of other guys, and guys are beat up across the board. You start to lose a little faith in what you could actually do as far as how far you can go in the playoffs if you make a run at all. So how much draft capital for the future do you want to give up to bring in a guy like Zadarius Smith, who just, by the way, if you're just joining the show, was just traded to the Lions from the Browns? How much do you want to give up to bring in a guy right now to try to help you out now who you don't know if you have even a good feel on where this season's going to go? Let's go to Terry in Sarasota. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning. I first want to say I'm actually a Ravens fan, but I've grown to love Tampa Bay, and unfortunately we had to play them this year. It's easier because when I root for the Rays too, but the Orioles have to play them too often. The point is, if you remember, the very first game was Thursday night game. The Ravens were playing the Chiefs. We had a similar game. We lost it in a out of bounds end zone play on the very last play. But if you remember, John Harbaugh on the sideline before. Once he thought he had tied it up, he was signaling go for two. And I was really upset that Tampa Bay didn't go for two. I thought you'd never want to give Mahomes a chance to march down the field.
Yeah, I think, and great call, Terry. Appreciate it. I think it matters who you're playing. If you're playing the Panthers, as I said earlier, Fine. Go to overtime, test it in overtime. If you're going against the Chiefs in Kansas City, go win the ball game. You're a couple yards away from winning the football game. And the excuse that Todd Bowles gave after the game about the weather and really not giving a lot of thought into going for the 2-point conversion, that's not the answer I want to hear. I'd rather you say, yeah, I thought about it a lot, and I came with a definitive decision that I like our chances in overtime better than the one play of the 2-point conversion. I don't want to hear, I didn't really put a lot of thought into it. You had the entire drive to put thought into it. The only job you have at that point, while Liam Cohen is conducting the offense to make sure he's calling the right plays, is making sure you're managing the one timeout you have left. So aside from the one timeout, which I think a lot of us agree you even botched that one, aside from the one timeout, you got to be thinking of everything. And there's not a lot to think of in that situation. But you should definitely be thinking about, if you score a touchdown, are you going for 2 to try to win this thing? And that's not something he was thinking about. Robert, hang tight. We'll get to you on the other side, 888-546-4620. It's the Pat and Aaron Show. We'll continue with more, but let me tell you about my friends over at Trajan Wealth and what they're going to do to help you and your future. I'm talking about retirement planning and wealth management, as Trajan Wealth is here to help you reach your investment goals. And what they do is they tailor the goals to your specific needs. They're going to work closely with you at Trajan Wealth to make your path to retirement as easy and a comfortable one. Whatever questions you have, they will have the answers for you. They've got offices at Trajan Wealth right here in Tampa, conveniently located near you, so you can do an easy face-to-face appointment or a virtual appointment if that is what you prefer. But it starts with that phone call, that free consultation today, 813-550-1000. It's 813-550-1000. Trajan Wealth, a family-owned and veteran-led business by Jeff Jr. And the good people over at Trajan, they're the people you want to work with, and they want to love, and they would love to talk with you about your financial goals. TrajanWealth.com, wealth management, retirement planning. Always think Trajan Wealth, as they're going to help you develop a plan that gives you peace of mind. TrajanWealth.com, advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor, paid advertisement. We'll get back to your phone calls. Alan, Robert, I see you there. That's all coming up next on the Pat and Aaron Show.
This report is sponsored by Robert Half.
Crash being cleared from southbound Dale Mabry just south of Bush Boulevard. Also one on northbound Sheldon near Linebaugh, and delays on eastbound Hillsborough Avenue approaching Memorial Highway and Sheldon. Serious crash on northbound 22nd Street near the Summit Expressway. All lanes are blocked there. Traffic jammed up from Causeway, northbound 41 50th Street, jammed up approaching Adamo. Get traffic info around the clock by searching News Radio WFLA on iHeartRadio. I'm Randy Myers.
9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half is here to help. Their recruiting professionals utilize their award-winning AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today. 9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half is here to help. Their recruiting professionals utilize their award-winning AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today. 9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half is here to help. Their recruiting professionals utilize their award-winning AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Ronnie Lane here, and when I'm not talking sports, I'm talking about ways to keep my hard-earned dollars in times like these. That's why I'm personal friends with Steve and Elizabeth Holland, co-founders of the Holland Group Retirement Wealth Advisors. I was able to get Steve to tune in and mention what he and his Holland Group family do for their clients. Take it away, Steve.
Hey, thanks a lot, Ronnie. You know, we have built a clean business for over 30 years, creating thousands of customized, inflation-adjusted, tax-advantaged, comprehensive retirement plans, and we were the first company in Tampa Bay to do it. That competitive edge has enabled us to hone in on our craft. You know, Ronnie, we have never had a client return their retirement plan and say, hey, this doesn't work.
Steve, I believe it. Folks, check out my friends by Googling the Holland Group Retirement Wealth Advisors. They have solid reviews online you can read, which matters enormously.
For every ouch, oops, and uh-oh, there's a Band-Aid brand product that's best. Get great, dependable, everyday protection to help minor cuts and scrapes. The ultimate protection. From bandages to blister cushion. Your life is unique, so are our Band-Aids. Bandages. Band-Aid brand adhesive bandages.
Not flossing well? Then add the whoa of Listerine to your routine. New science shows it gets in between teeth to destroy 5 times more plaque above the gum line than floss for a cleaner, healthier mouth. Listerine's invigorating rush, zapping millions of germs in seconds for that one-of-a-kind whoa.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to hims.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy.
It's football season, and Uber Eats is dropping undefeated deals on all your game day favorites. This week, score buy one, get one free Crunchwrap Supremes from Taco Bell, only on Uber Eats. Craving even more? We've got you covered with game day deals on pizza, burgers, wings, and more all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL.
Order Taco Bell for game day now through November 17, 2024. Second item of equal or lesser value. Terms apply. See app for details.
If you ever need our help, we're just a call away. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores.
Mostly sunny today on this election day. We do have a 20% chance of showers and thunder showers in the afternoon. Our high right around 86. Overnight, mostly cloudy. Chance of evening showers and thunder showers. Our low right around 78. Tomorrow, Wednesday, better chance of showers. About a 50% chance of showers and thunder showers. Our high right around 86. Get weather info around the clock by searching News Radio WFLA on iHeartRadio. I'm John Thomas.
Staples has amazing deals on everything you need for the holidays, from custom holiday cards and photo gifts to laptops and gaming systems, even shipping solutions. And now save up to $350 on select computers. In-store only. Offer ends 11/16. Unwrap huge holiday savings at Staples. Staples has amazing deals on everything you need for the holidays, from custom holiday cards and photo gifts to laptops and gaming systems, even shipping solutions. And now save up to $350 on select computers. In-store only. Offer ends 11/16. Unwrap huge holiday savings at Staples.
With its new look and taste, Dasani is always crisp, clean, and refreshing. So, when thirst calls, answer with the new refreshed taste of Dasani water, now without salt. Learn more at Dasani.com.
Victim of a slip and fall? It takes one phone call to take back control of your life. Anajar and Levine will fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Call me, Mark Anajar, for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
Main office, Tampa.
Rock on down the highway to the Tampa Bay Fall RV Show, Thursday through Sunday, November 7th through 10th at the Florida State Fairgrounds. It's the first showing of the new 2025 RVs with lifestyle booths, entertainment, and daily door prizes. Adults only $5. Kids under 16 free. Thursday, seniors save $1. Military and first responders save $1 every day. Coupons available at frvta.org. It's the Tampa Bay Fall RV Show, Florida State Fairgrounds.
Broadcasting live from the Rude Air Conditioning Studios, the home for Team Tampa Bay over 20 years and counting. 95.3 WDAE and the mighty AM 620. Powered locally by Ferguson HVAC.
Pat and Aaron Show, 95.3 WDAE and AM 620. A lot of questions after last night. A lot of head scratching, not a lot of answers. And the worst thing about it is a Bucs team that was down there, top 3 wide receivers, found a way to be in that game and take it to overtime yesterday. And I thought the offense and Liam Cohen did a fantastic job. I thought the defense did a better job, especially on the interior. I mean, the interior is where they're getting all the pressure at. Vita Vea, Kalijah Kancey, 2 sacks apiece yesterday. They were great. Todd Bowles might be the thing holding them back right now. 888-546-4620. Let's go to Alan in Tampa. Good morning, Alan.
Morning. So my thing with this whole game was, I think they did a great job last night. I think Baker did a phenomenal job. I mean, you saw what the offense did against Kansas City, an actual really good defense. And even our defense played decent, but I think my biggest problem isn't the fact that we didn't go for the 2-point conversion. It's that why are we not going on these 4th down conversions? Take some risks. Because it's like, look at what Sean McDermott does with the Buffalo Bills. And you saw what our offense was doing last night to them. Let's actually risk it for the biscuit and go for some like fourth down conversion.
Is there a specific fourth down that you're looking at here that they didn't go for?
I think there was like this one that was on like the 40, even in their own, like even in the Kansas City Chiefs area, like 4th and 3, like a lot of the analysts say like you should probably go for it. And my thing is, yeah, just go for it. I mean, you know that this team, if you put Patrick Mahomes on the field again, he's most likely going to get a touchdown or you're going to get a field goal from him.
The one I remember, it was either in the third or fourth quarter, the Bucs had a 4th and 2 in their own territory, and like around the 40, and they punted it, and Mahomes went down the field and drove them onto a touchdown, and they scored a touchdown. Listen, It's a tie game. Those are tough. It's one thing to give Patrick Mahomes a football back. It's another thing to give him a short field and give him the football back. I'm not going to get on Todd Bowles for not being as aggressive in that situation as I am for at the end of that game with a chance to go out and really win the game. Now, would it have been over? No. Patrick Mahomes still had 3 timeouts and about 30 seconds to get into field goal range. We've seen crazier things happen, way crazier. We saw it last week with Jaden Daniels and Washington against the Bears. So things will happen on the football field, but I at least, and I know a lot of Bucs fans, the resounding result I'm hearing today is they would have at least liked to see their coach make an aggressive play call there, and he didn't do it.
Right. I think the other thing, too, is, Todd Bowles' defensive mind, and there's some things that I kind of see on defense. I used to be like an assistant football coach for a high school team that I was back in my day. And I don't know, like with some of the defense, I just don't see him running to the ball. Like they did it a little bit last night, but if you go back to the Atlanta Falcons game, it's like they just don't run to the ball at all. They just stop.
Well, they're slow.
You have to. Yeah,
that's slow. The problem is they're slow. Hey, Alan, we got a bunch of calls. Really appreciate the call, buddy. I hope you have a good day. Let's go to Buccaneer John. Nope. Let's go to Robert in Lithia. What's up, Robert?
Hey guys, I just got to say I'm really upset. And I'm not upset that we lost this game. I really didn't think we was going to win it. But I am upset that Todd Bowles, man, he consistently makes elementary mistakes. And I fear that, we had a good couple years back with, Tom Brady and Bruce Arians and shifting the culture of this team. I think we're regressing. And where is this defensive guru that everybody keeps talking about? I just don't see it.
He's a thing of the past, and he doesn't have the personnel right now. And that's a big problem. He doesn't have the right guys there, Robert.
If we just consistently getting our heads kicked in, and like the 2-point conversion in games before that, just consistently having elementary mistakes, and you don't see when in press conferences, it seems like he doesn't. It's just another day. It's just another game to him. Some games are worth more than others. Every game ain't just another game.
And by the way, and thank you for the call, Robert. By the way, the news out of the NFL right now, Zadarius Smith on his way to the Detroit Lions. So the Browns have given up Zadarius Smith. The Lions get the defensive end they need. They get the pass rush. The Bucs sorely needed it. They didn't go out and get it. Let's take one more here before the break, and then we'll take the rest of you to wrap up the show. Let's go to Kyle, who's in Port St. Lucie. What's on your mind, Kyle?
Hey, good morning, Aaron. Big fan of the show, by the way. Thank you for you and Pat for everything you guys do after these games. We are at the midpoint of the season. Let's say we drop a game to San Francisco next week. We're sitting at 4-6. Even with the strong finish, we could be looking at 9-8 and barely making the playoffs or even missing it outright. So the question is this. Are we potentially looking at another Lovie Smith, Dirk Cutter situation?
Yes.
We have our $100 million contract quarterback in Baker Mayfield. He's our guy long-term, no doubt about it. Liam Cohen is a member of that Sean McVay coaching tree and will be a highly sought-after candidate. Do you see it as a realistic possibility that the Glazers and Jason Light look at, hey, let's keep this guy with Baker. We have a top 5 offense, and let's look at other answers for the defensive side.
Kyle, let me ask you a question real fast. Besides the Tom Brady Super Bowl year and the offense that he ran, and a lot of that was just Tom being Tom, have you ever seen an offense that you're as confident in moving the football down the field early in the game, throughout the game, as you are with Liam Cohen this year? Have you ever had that?
I've been a Bucs fan since 1996 when they were in the NFC Central, and this is one of the most exciting offenses I've seen. And the fact that we did what we could last night in Arrowhead
down your top 3,
Evans,
yep,
without Chris Godwin, even without, our
Jalen
number
McMillan.
3, James McMillan, exactly. It's amazing what he could do. And,
The
I
answer
just love
is,
his play calling.
and thank you, Kyle, for the call. Appreciate it. We're up against it. The answer is yes. He is. This is the best, most exciting offense this team has had aside from the Tom Brady Super Bowl year. And if that's your answer, and if Dirk Cutter wasn't as exciting, but because of the ties to Jameis and not wanting to lose him and what they were building, they got rid of Lovey, who was on his way out anyway probably, and they made Dirk Cutter the head coach. They didn't want to lose him. If that was the case then that better be the case now. And I know it's only been a year, not even half a season. We've seen enough. We saw enough from Dave Canales last year for us to go, well, he's just okay as an offensive coordinator. Now only Carolina is going to be crazy enough to take a chance on him as a head coach. But I don't think it's as crazy with Liam Cohen. I don't think you let that guy go. He's creative. He uses his imagination. He's aggressive. The guys like him. That's not a guy you want to let walk away. So I do see this potentially being a Dirk Cutter, Lovie Smith situation. All right, Mike, Colin, hang tight. We'll get to you on the other side. I do want to let you know it is hurricane season. We all know it's been a really rough hurricane season, but we're not out of the woods yet. You got to make sure you're protecting your home. If it's not this season, make sure you get on it for next season. Protect your home now with factory direct custom-made impact windows from Reese Windows and Doors. They've been doing it for over 50 years here in the state of Florida for a reason. They're the best. At Reese, most impact windows installed in just 6 weeks. Check them out online for a free consultation. ReeseWindows.com. That's REECE Windows.com. On the other side, we'll wrap things up. We'll do a mini blender, but we'll get to your calls. That's next on the Pat and Aaron Show. Pat Donovan back later in the week.
WDAE
traffic update.
If you've been renting and are now displaced from the storms, you could be eligible for a home loan that does not require a down payment. Reach out to our guy, John Howard, who knows what you're going through. Find out more at howardteamhomeloans.com.
Lower LLC NMLS 1124061. Equal housing opportunity. Terms and conditions apply.
At Rivard Buick GMC, our hearts go out to everyone affected by the recent storms. We understand the challenges of rebuilding. And if a new or a used vehicle is a part of that journey, Rivard is here for you. Rest assured, the massive discounts you're accustomed to remain, regardless of inventory levels. While many dealers may raise prices based on availability, Rivard stands firm and is committed to supporting our community through this tough time. Visit RivardBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Local folks in uniform know that when it comes to jewelry, IDC rolls out the red carpet every time.
I actually bought my wife's wedding and engagement ring from IDC.
Meet Jamison Kenzie, a Largo firefighter and paramedic who took advantage of International Diamond Center's 15% discount for first responders.
Amazing to get that discount and get something much prettier than I probably could have without it.
At IDC, we love our heroes.
People like myself and all the other first responders, it helps us in our budgets and every day to know that there's a place like IDC that we can go and get incredible value for amazing product.
International Diamond Center, always going out of our way to deliver exceptional value for those milestone moments in everyone's life, and always just a little bit extra for our military and first responders.
My name is Jamison Kinsey, and I'm a Largo firefighter paramedic, and I've been super grateful for everything IDC has done for myself and our department.
International Diamond Center, proud to serve those who serve us. Tampa, Clearwater, Lakeland, and Sarasota.
The only thing worse than hiring no law firm after your injury is hiring the wrong law firm. And there are so many of them. When thousands of people call us every year asking to help them change law firms and hire us instead, I wonder why they ever called the other firm in the first place. They were smart to switch before it was too late. You only get one day in court. You know who has the resources and results to fight to handle your claim. And the big insurance company on the other side, they know it too. They know us well. You have to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, and know when to walk away. Walk our way. When you're fighting to get what you deserve, it's go big or go home. We are big for a reason, which is why we've recovered over $9 billion for our clients. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Listening on the free iHeartRadio app? Thanks to Farrah and Farrah, it's never been easier to send your opinions directly to your favorite show. When you open the app, click the red talkback microphone and hit send. Farrah and Farrah, here to make it easy, Tampa.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The free iHeart app goes everywhere you do, because it's always on your phone and ready for whatever you're in the mood for. Even better, when you plug your phone into Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, the app becomes part of the dash with a seamless way to listen to your favorite radio stations, the latest must-hear podcast, or a custom playlist to get you focused. And with the holidays on the horizon, the app makes the perfect shopping companion while you search for the ultimate parking spot.
There it is!
Try Apple CarPlay or Android Auto with the iHeart app today.
iHeartRadio. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
For Bartow Ford, the recipe has always been simple. Best service, best selection, and best prices. It's the reason we have always outsold every other dealer in Polk County. And with the way prices have been lately, Bartow Ford wants to ensure we save our customers money. Look at our inventory online or in person. You will find the lowest prices around by far. Not even close. No gimmicks, games, or hidden fees. I am so certain there isn't a better deal out there that I am guaranteeing that we will beat any deal on a comparable vehicle or give you $1,000 cash. At Bartow Ford, we're different, and we prove it.
The biggest guests and analysts from around the world of sports. The Dan Patrick Show, coming up at 9. Now, back to the Pat and Aaron Show on WDAE. Streaming live on Alexa and the free iHeart Radio app.
The Blender.
Blender time. Blender time. Well, thank you, everyone, for hanging in today, because that was a rough game yesterday. I know a lot of you had some things to get off your chest today. And I know we've been talking a lot about the same thing of really Todd Bowles and not going for it on the 2-point conversion, and then, of course, the overtime rules. But I think that's the big discussion today is, should the NFL change the overtime rules, and does Todd Bowles need to be a little more aggressive, have a little more moxie in the arsenal like his quarterback and Baker Mayfield? Before we get to the Blender on the Pat and Aaron Show presented by Mazda of Clearwater, let's get to a couple phone calls here, people who've been waiting. Mike in Clearwater, what's on your mind, Mike?
Thanks for taking
your mom, Mike?
Morning. Yeah, she's all right, man. She's okay. She'll be all right. Hey, listen, I just want to say this, man. The decision with Todd Bowles, that's, it is what it is, man. But however, when you give up 126 yards on third down with 10 completions out of 13,
it was 11 actually. 11.
Yeah, 11 out of 13, but 10 of them actually made it for first down. So you give up 126 yards on third down, 3 touchdowns. That's why you lost the football game.
Definitely.
The talent's not there, and I hate to say it. The conversation is only going to be able to stay, silent for so long. Jason Light's got to draft better. I've left that conversation alone here lately because it's just a rhetorical conversation between me and everybody else, whatever it is. The talent's not there, man. That's what it is. You can't let a guy pick you apart. The Kansas City Chiefs ran 83 plays on the Bucs. In other words, they were getting picked apart all night long. I'll hang up and listen.
Hey, thank you, Mike. When it comes to drafting, I like what Jason Light has been able to do with the draft, but I think key positions are where he has missed out on, and you're not going to get them all right. Like Joe Tryon-Shoyinka was a stud coming out of college, and a lot of us were excited about that pick and thought we got a steal when we got him in that draft. But he hasn't produced. So you can look at the edge rushers and you go, well, he hasn't really done great. Well, Yaya Diaby hasn't been able to do and match what he was able to do when he came on the scene last year. But then you can look to the interior and be like, well, he drafted Vita Vea, who is a stud, as we saw 2 sacks again last night. And again, on the interior line, drafting Kalijah Kancey, who is on his way, I think, to being a stud. 2 sacks for him yesterday. So I don't think he's bad at drafting. I think there are some positions he has seemed to have a better track record at than other positions. And in this league, that is totally normal when you're a GM. You're not going to get them all right. Let's get one more in here, and then we'll get to the Blender. Colin in Zephyr Hills. What's up, Colin? Colin, you there? All right. Well, maybe I have to try.
I'm here.
Hey, what's up, Colin? Real quick.
I was on mute, my bad. Real quick. I think it was third and goal inside the 10-yard line, and they had Josh Hayes one-on-one with DeAndre Hopkins on the outside.
Yeah.
Todd Bowles has to make an adjustment when you're inside the 10-yard line with one of the best receivers of our generation. You got to have somebody taller, lengthier. I get that Jamel Dean's out, and we're seeing at the cornerback position. But man, you gotta make an adjustment to guard DeAndre Hopkins.
Listen, you just can't let him get that inside position, which he got with ease. I mean, that's what he's going to try to do there in that situation, and you got to be ready for that. You got to be able to jump that route, and if you don't fully jump it, you got to be able to knock that ball down. So I'm with you. I just thought that was really bad, and once again, that was another third down conversion for them that turned into a touchdown.
And another one real quick is when they were in that trips formation, and Patrick Mahomes tried to get it out of the pocket real quick. He tried to throw it fast, and Hopkins wasn't looking. But then again, I mean, there was nobody on DeAndre Hopkins. You cannot leave him in the slot wide open and, have two other receivers on the outside. One of them is real speedy. You have to have somebody on the inside waiting for him to, cut back or whatever. Antoine Winfield almost got the pick nonetheless.
Twice.
But, you got to make adjustments. Like, it's super simple stuff. It's just not adjusting to. So
Thank you,
I'll hang up
Colin.
and listen. Thanks, Aaron.
Hey, good call, man. And yeah, Antoine Winfield, you mentioned he almost had that interception, two of them at the end of the game. And listen, not a lot of time left, but you're one play away from being in field goal range. If you can get a quick out to a receiver who can get out of bounds, give Chase McLaughlin a chance to win that game. Absolutely. All right, anything in the blender before we wrap it up here, Casey?
Yeah,
Warner?
absolutely. We got another breaking news about a trade. Not a huge trade, but noteworthy. The Bengals have traded for Bears running back Khalil Herbert, and all they are giving up for him is a 7th-round pick. So adding a little bit of depth to the backfield there that has Zach Moss injured, and then Chase Brown has been their number one running back. So another running back added to the Bengals who have looked pretty good lately.
Yeah, we saw Zadarius Smith on the move, defensive end going to the Lions from Cleveland, and now we see a move in the running back position. Listen, we know that's not an issue with the Buccaneers. We need to find a way to get Sean Tucker more touches. Once again yesterday, just not getting him the football, not utilizing him like a lot of people want to see him utilized. So I think our eyes today should be on, before the deadline this afternoon at 4 o'clock, are the Bucs going to go out and get a pass rusher? Maybe a linebacker.
Maybe a corner.
Maybe a corner. Got to help out, especially the secondary looked awful yesterday. Maybe a receiver. I think the offense has done a really good job, but if you can go get Mike Williams from the Jets for pennies on the dollar, he's not being utilized there. So I think you can go out and get him and help your team out right now. So I am going to be keeping my eyes on what's going to be going on in the free agency period as it comes to a close today. Anything else in the blender, case?
Yeah, last night was the opening night for college basketball, and we had a big matchup in the state of Florida. The Florida Gators took on the South Florida Bulls, the number 21 ranked Florida Gators, that is. And the Bulls started out pretty hot, 36-23 early. They hit their first 6 of 15 shots from three-point range, 36-23. They had the lead. Ultimately, they could not get the victory. They lost 98-83 to the Florida Gators up in Jacksonville. And I thought it was really cool, Aaron. All around the country, there were a moment of silences for Coach Amir Abdur-Rahim. A lot of teams remembering him that didn't even have, anything to do with Coach Rahim, and just a really good touch by college basketball to honor a USF legend that is no longer with us.
Saturday was pretty special as USF was saying goodbye to Amir Abdur-Rahim and Coach Rahim, and he they named the Yingling Center after him. So that is really awesome that they're going to be changing that in honor of Coach Amir Abdur-Rahim. Very special.
Yeah, very special, and the Bulls will look to get a win after that loss to Florida, but there is one more game we got to get to that was a huge matchup last night, and that was number 8 Baylor and number 6 Gonzaga. Wasn't even an issue for the Gonzaga Bulldogs. 101-63. They blew them out with an opening statement win over the Baylor Bears. College basketball season is here. College football is still going on. It is a good time to be a sports fan.
Who is the guy, what's his face? Flag?
Cooper
Flag. Oh my gosh, that kid's going to be a monster. He is so long and so powerful. He's going to be a monster. All right, we got college basketball here. Better times ahead for the Buccaneers. Tomorrow on the show, we will certainly be discussing the prospects of them getting it done against the 49ers. And unfortunately, part of that conversation is going to be Christian McCaffrey, I believe, is going to be on the field on Sunday against the Buccaneers. So it's going to be a week in which this team is going to have to get it together and find a way. And if they can find a way, like they almost did yesterday against the Chiefs, if they can find a way to win this game and go into the bye at 5-5, I really do feel like this season can get back on track. But if you go in at 4-6 and you go into that bye and the Falcons get a win, We're looking at this season unraveling pretty quickly here. Casey Warner, your birthday on Friday. You ready to go? You ready to celebrate? A little sushi?
3 days away. Oh,
Let's
there's
do
no
it.
place I'd rather be than Agisai, baby.
With us.
That's right.
Thank you.
Let's go.
The Blender on the Pat and Aaron Show, presented by Mazda Clearwater. Check out the third row 2023 Mazda CX-9. Details at MazdaofClearwater.com. We'll get over this. We'll do this together. And hopefully Todd Bowles can continue to learn and grow from situations like yesterday. For the men and women who defend our country and make it possible for us to do this for